on his list. Don't do it, Rob.
My audio sound all right?
Don't do
Yeah,
it.
you're good.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
good.
Don't you dare put Duke Nukem Forever on your list. Don't.
It is your.
He says that. He
I
says that,
have
but
it-
he
I have-
owns the game. So
I have it
like,
for
what
that
does that
reason.
say?
Yo. I literally have it on there for that reason.
I bought it for the historical
No, yeah, shit. No, yeah,
debacle
shit.
Historical.
Just like with the Devil's Third. Devil's Third
But
had similar.
I paid $6 for it. When I went out there and bought the bitch brand new.
It's like when you buy a bad movie. It's like I hate Alien versus Predator, but I had to own it.
Yeah.
Just.
I still have it though.
I watched
hate that movie.
I watched that when I was on holiday. We were on a dude's holiday. We were just watching it in a bar. It nearly ruined my holiday, man.
I went to the theaters and saw it.
I saw it at the theater. I don't think I've seen it since.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
terrible.
remember.
Honestly,
Honestly,
I own that film and I've never seen it.
I didn't see
my
the
baby
sequel.
son Al Lathan's in it, so I had to watch it for her. But
I'd probably rewatch
that's
that
the other
before
one that-
Resurrection,
no.
honestly. Because I've only seen both those movies once.
I did watch
Resurrection is
Resurrection.
so good, man.
What'd
So
you say?
Resurrection is so
Shut the
good,
fuck
man.
up. Shut
I love that movie.
I was what? When did that come out? I
What
wasn't
the
even a huge fan.
This fucking
That's my
guy.
second favorite movie.
And
ever.
I
You
was
know
so
why I
mad
love
during that movie. It's like, what is
Oh,
this?
God.
You know why I love that movie?
Because you're retro death.
like Alan
Retro,
Ripley,
stop.
Alan
Retro.
Ripley basically became the alien. She was so fucking bad. This whole
Yeah, it's not that
basketball
deep, though,
match
bro.
and everything. It was so
Can we
goddamn
not-
cool.
The whole basketball, the
Yeah, like
basketball
Ron
scene.
Perlman,
Hey.
Michael Wincott,
Hey.
Winona Ryder, this whole cast. man,
No.
It was
so
like
good.
Daredevil, that
There's
basketball
things I
scene.
like about that movie. But that movie overall is trash. I like Ron
Oh,
Perlman. I like him in
yeah.
everything. He elevates that fucking movie for me. But that's pretty much it. I hated everybody else. I hated all the characters. The movie was stupid. It was
welcome to the
literally
movie
just-
cast, everybody.
You know, and
God.
the studio really was mad at David Fincher for killing Ripley, or people were mad. But
But it wasn't him.
like the movie was
That
kind of a
David
mishmash.
Fincher, he was just there. He was a name.
He was there
He
to
didn't
try
have
to
any
fix
control over that
it.
fucking
Sounded
movie.
like, but anyway,
Welcome to the movie cast,
I've seen
everybody. How's
Aliens 3
everybody
more.
doing?
Yeah, it was a
I've seen
podcast.
Aliens 3 more than any of the others, and I've always
Peter,
enjoyed
that
it.
one was garbage.
I've always enjoyed that movie. It does something different. It's the only one that does something
What's
different.
going on?
Stupid fucking rape scene. You're taking Alan Ripley and you're diminishing her to that fucking level. The stupid weird ass guy in his suit mixed with the green screen. The alien looked like trash, man. That movie was awful.
Man, you just bigged up Resurrection. You just need to be quiet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you got no
Be
place.
quiet.
So anyway, what's up, everybody? And it's fitting that we
bullshit.
started randomly talking about movies because I could have finished Resident Evil Village yesterday, but I ended up watching two full-length movies, both Arnold, both is it John McTiernan? Was it John? I thought it was James. I was getting him mixed up with James McTiernan, whatever his name is. That who directed
James McTeague.
McTeague. But yeah, because I was like, man, I can get this. I can get Village finished probably, so I can have a game to talk about. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this movie. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch another one.
How far are you in Village?
I feel like I'm near the end. I don't know.
Okay.
Right, almost there, like right at the tail. end.
I got the 4 things collected and opened up a new area and
I'm gonna spoil that
went
shit.
in there.
Well,
I've already seen like the main playthrough.
Charles, the only person I know who watches playthroughs of games he doesn't have interest in, and then watches and knows all about like how the story.
I don't know, man.
I fucking
It's
sent hate mail to who was it? The fucking Honest Trailer people. Those motherfuckers didn't warn about a spoiler in the goddamn game, and they spoiled the shit. I'm just trying
really?
to have some fun. Yeah, they pissed me off.
Well, I didn't watch Girlfriend Reviews video yet, even though they usually don't get too serious. I'm like, well, I'll wait till I finish it. Because
they usually would have, spoiler, blah, blah, in a little spoiler thing. They didn't even do that shit. I would have left.
That's one reason I fucking hate Game Explain shit. Back in the day, they fucking put the spoilers fuck up in the thumbnail. No way.
Yeah, like a
that was
Smash,
true.
They fixed themselves, but that was bullshit.
Yeah.
a leaked Smash character. They put it in. OJ did that, and I called him out on it. And he tried to like A tried to like say it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And then he is like trying to justify why he did it, and then he stopped doing it. So he
Yeah.
obviously realized
There is no justification.
He will not concede anything ever.
it's like that.
And there's only one punishment: death.
Oh my god, no.
That's one of the few things where I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to know because the character reveals are so special. Like, you know, that's
They're way better than your shitty 10-minute video.
That's true. I mean, that's true. That's true. That's true. That's exactly true.
and it deflates.
True.
Remember the duck? Was it Duck Hunt?
I don't want no problems.
They
Yeah,
finally
you do. Get the smoke, T. Fry that motherfucker on the grill.
remember when they finally put out the Duck Hunt reveal and everybody knew it was in there, but it was still a cool trailer, but it was completely deflated.
That's
Would have
true.
been mind blowing, that one. That was, man. That trailer was so good. Also,
I always said
was-
that the biggest, I think one of the biggest Smash reveals would have been Ryu or Ryu.
Mm-hmm.
If that didn't leak, man, because it had the whole Super Nintendo intro and everything. It would have been hype as fuck.
Yeah.
That whole Direct Mini, I feel, was leaked because I thought there was
No,
another...
it was.
Yeah, that's just
what was-
unfortunate. And that was right before E3. It was just weird. It was weird timing. But, yeah, you know, that shit happens. And it sucks. But, yeah, I'm pretty good at unfollowing those, you know, the people who do that kind of stuff. Like, put it in the thumbnail, put it in a tweet. And speaking of T, I think you and I had the same experience. We had to unfollow a couple people. Like, probably the worst take on Nintendo fans I've ever seen about crying about the amiibo, which we'll talk about Skyward Sword amiibo and all that later. And someone was just like, these same people who are spending money on OnlyFans and
just making shit up.
And just like, really? Just somebody complaining about an amiibo having like a fast travel lock behind it is just the same people that do OnlyFans, like subscribe to OnlyFans.
Like
Where did that come from?
The pretzel logic.
So I was just like, I'm out. I saw the two people that liked it, and I unfollowed.
Yeah, and if you like that fucking tweet, I'm out on you.
That's some next level Defendo, like deflecting.
You like it, you know?
No, but don't you know they're right because they had, you know, cap in all caps LMAO. So that means they're usually right, yo.
Yeah. But anyway, let's I'm just gonna throw it out there. If you beat a game in the last week or started a new game, not including Knockout City, go ahead.
Not including Knockout City.
We're gonna talk about it as a
later?
group.
Okay.
Chrono Trigger for me on Saturday. I started.
Oh, I didn't know you started that. I figured you were just finishing up. I would have checked.
No. Like I started that Saturday. I'm gonna edit that down and post that on YouTube. Are you joking right now? This is what we're doing.
So what'd you think of it?
Hey, moment.
Hey, what are you doing? Don't wave at me.
That's her damn house, man. She can do what she wants.
Motherfucker. I never win. I never fucking win.
So I was Chrono Trigger.
I bet she don't be in there the whole 2 hours before you.
But it's always when I'm about to talk. And then she's like, hi, bye. I'm like, you motherfucker. I love you, Mom.
It's 7-something. I gotta go now.
It's my time to shine, yo. Let's go.
We live for the mom cameo, man. We
So
live.
initial impressions.
The music is fucking phenomenal. That's the first
is.
thing. That music is great.
Amazing.
I'm only about 2 hours into it, so I haven't got.
So yeah. Well,
I've learned the time traveling in the jumping between gates and shit. I befriended a frog of sorts.
yes.
And
Let's go.
then I defeated a mechanical dragon. So
Man on the bridge. Hey,
so
let's go.
it's been an interesting experience so far. It almost felt like it was going too fast, but I already know that like this game is notoriously short for an RPG. But I haven't really had any issues with it whatsoever. It's just been fun. And you get skills so quickly too. That's the other thing. I was getting skills so quickly. Like Jesus Christ.
You can't get through it quick, but it does have quite a few side things that you can do. So
I do want to
try your
mention.
best.
I do mention the things you do in the carnival, I didn't realize would come back and play a part later on.
I love that. I love that shit, man.
So when I got arrested, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then they're showing flashbacks to this shit. Like, "Oh,
you take some apples, Sorrel."
Yeah, like you stole. Like I stole. They're like I'm stole some food. But in any other RPG, you could just steal food off the ground. That's fine. That's theft. And I'm like, well, I guess technically that's right. It is theft. You're a criminal. Oh shit. I guess I am a criminal. It threw me off because I'm like, oh, damn. All right, that's the game we played. All right, bet. So it's been fun. I've enjoyed it so far.
What are you playing? How did you get on Steam or something?
No, so I looked up. The best version of the game is the DS version, but as T mentioned, I think last part. Yeah, I emulated because T mentioned last part. Buying the DS version is expensive as fuck. So I'm emulating, and that shit's been pretty good. I haven't had any issues with it. I do want to get the DS version. I just don't want to spend that much money, but I might have to do it depending on if this game is as good as I think it is. I might spend the money. It depends.
I mean,
Sorry, I lost connection just then, but so I kind of like missed it all. But yeah, like I said, try to get a copy of Chrono Trigger, physical, no matter what format. Whether it's original SNES or DS, and like I said, I'm glad I got my DS copy because that's an expensive buy. But the game is sexual.
Yeah, I have it too, but I only have what do you call it? Just the cart. I don't have the case and all that stuff.
Oh, at least that's something. At least that's something.
Yeah, at least I still.
Yeah, you say you're the most important part of the whole.
Yeah,
right. I say with like a nice case and all, but I'll make one.
But I might spend the money for if it's as good as people have been claiming it is. I might just say fuck it and spend the money.
The thing is, like Chrono Trigger never released in Europe. It never. We lost out on so many Square RPGs back then.
Really?
That's crazy.
Well, Final Fantasy 6 or 3 didn't come out over here. Chrono Trigger didn't come out. But then we got Secret of Mana, and for example, we got Terranigma, which you guys didn't get. But Terranigma was Enix anyway. That wasn't a Square.
But still,
that's crazy. Well, I heard that Chrono Trigger is very like you don't have to really grind in the game. Like it's very friendly in terms of.
My RPG nature.
I think it's a huge
my RPG nature wants me to grind, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to fight that habit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game flows really well. It flows really well.
I heard that.
Yeah, I haven't had any issues with it. I haven't had any issues with it so far.
Yeah, it flows really well.
So how does it?
I think the only RPG that you don't really have to, at least the ones I've played, that you don't have to grind in is like Panzer Dragoon Saga. Like,
well, Saga is another one. It's a bit like Chrono Trigger, where it compacts this less than 20-hour RPG into this single focused epic adventure that is up there. It hasn't got the time scale, but it's up there in terms of just awesomeness. Whether it's the music, the story, the characters, all within. You can complete Panzer Dragoon Saga in 15, 16 hours, I reckon.
16 hours, something.
You know, if you knew what you
that's crazy.
Knew what you're doing, but just the whole adventure in itself. It was on 4 discs as well, but it's mostly because of the FMV. So many CGI. But like Chrono Trigger, it just packs it in and it doesn't stop. It just keeps you going, just moment after moment, and it's just sometimes just so much better.
It should be mentioned up there with the Final Fantasy 7s and the Chrono Triggers, but the only reason it isn't is because it came out on Saturn. That was the only reason.
How did anyone play it?
Not a lot of people played it.
I see.
Wasn't there an Xbox version?
It's that good of an RPG. It should be.
There's no Xbox version, no. But it's like, I mean, that was Sega's goal. Final Fantasy 7 came out, and they were like, "We need our Final Fantasy 7." That was the whole premise of Saga. We need our Final Fantasy 7.
What's the one on
top-down stuff? It's full on 3D, like
It's full 3D. It's full voice acted, and it is. I can't think of a single other adventure game on the PS1 that is like it.
Not even close.
There's not a. If you think of full 3D adventure games on the PlayStation 1, what comes to mind?
Yeah,
I bet you're struggling already. You can't think of one. It's just.
The only thing it happened
stuff
to come
like
out.
Spyro
The
and shit,
Saturn was
kind
just
of.
dead. It was just completely dead.
You got stuff like Soul Reaver, and stuff like that. But once again, it's
But it doesn't have all the other
Soul
stuff.
Reaver. Yeah, it doesn't have all the other
It
stuff.
doesn't have the
So it's,
FMVs and the. It doesn't have all the other.
very different games. So.
Very epic.
Sorry, we went off track there.
All right, so
Sega fanboys, Sega fanboys.
All right.
I'm
not mad at it.
Oh wait, it's just when I go Sega fanboy, Sega fanboy. Look at that, Rob.
Holding
$1,500 in your hand.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. A lot of money in your hand right there. Yeah.
all right, so we all but one of us tried Knockout City on Saturday, and
it wasn't there. Oh, T wasn't there. Yeah, T was.
Fuck you.
I like how you forgot. I
didn't forget it. I was like, who was it there?
we had uneven teams, and then I was trying to sync my EA account, and so I bowed out, and you guys played 2v2 for a while, and I never did get it resolved. Turns out that if you sync sync up your PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo account with your EA Origin account, you can never link up another PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo account ever again in to that Origin account. So EA says once and you're done. So if you had an old, like I did, I created my Origin account in 2012, and I was like, oh, link your Xbox and PlayStation. So all right, I'll just link. I never once played an EA game on my PS3, and I haven't used my PS3 PSN account since before The Last of Us came out, 2013. Never played an EA game on it, so I unlink it, and it's like, oh, I'll just link it to my new Terminator Juice account. Nope, says you get one per life for that Origin account, which makes no sense at all.
That's so weird. That's such a weird.
So I had to create a new EA account, which is basically just an email and a password. There's no other information required to enter. And by the time I realized that, you guys were done playing, so I had already played it on the Switch. I played one match on PS5. It's the PS4 version with randoms, and with randoms, it was completely a different game, man.
Not PS5.
It's just a PS4.
Well, I mean, how different is it?
It's the same, but playing with randoms,
different atmosphere.
all the fun's gone. Like, and everybody was way really good too. Is like we got dominated, but it's just like without you guys trash talk and laughing and stuff. It wasn't that fun. I didn't think it was that fun without friends. Kind of like a lot of multiplayer games, in my opinion. So I played it the least amount, but I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, as a free-to-play game, I think it would be okay. But I don't know. Why don't you guys share it? Because you guys played a lot more.
So, like, what was the process? Because you guys were talking about starting an account and all this shit. Like,
Well,
so you have to have an Origin account to even get into the game.
I think I still have one.
I'm sure you have one.
But
like me,
it's not.
You can't have linked it.
I just have to reset my passwords.
If you had an Origin account and you linked your Nintendo account from your Wii U or something, you can't link a new account to it. So it depends on what you linked to it before.
I haven't done that. My Origin account, I think I got on Wii U for
Need for Speed.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a pain in the ass, and then I was trying to delete my old PlayStation account. Couldn't get that done because I don't have the serial number, which I'm getting because the guy who sold it to, we had a mutual friend, but they couldn't prove it. I couldn't prove it was me with asking me all these ridiculous questions. So anyway, that was a whole other issue.
Jesus.
I spent over 2 hours with that shit trying to get that canceled and stuff. But anyway, why don't you guys share your experience with Knockout City and because sound like you guys, Trail especially, sound like you enjoyed it.
It was very. What's the word for it? I almost want to say arcade.
Fucking fun, yo.
Well, no, I mean I'm not saying it's not fun. What I'm saying is like it felt kind of arcadey.
It's kind of arcadey, yeah.
It's very easy to kind of get into. I think the only thing it took is like about 10 minutes to kind of get the controls down.
Yeah.
And once we realized, I think the only thing that took me a minute was the catching mechanic, because I didn't realize it was time. Like you can't just hold your arms out.
Yeah, because I kept hitting you from long ways off. Like, how did he not catch that?
Because my brain's like, I'm hitting the button right too early.
Oh, so you can catch the ball?
Well,
yeah, but you got like a 2-second window where you'll hold your arms out, and if you do it too early, you'll close them, you get hit. If you do it too late, you'll get hit.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like I think it's the hard. That's the hardest to me. That was like the hardest mechanic to get my head around, because I always had to. Because the strategy comes in that once you realize it, you can kind of like fuck with your opponent. Like you can kind of hover around them with the ball and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna hit you." And get them to use their catch early and then throw it at them. And that's how a lot of KOs were done. The game's fun as hell. I think the best thing I was surprised about was the maps. Most of those maps I enjoyed the shit out of. It's a lot of variety in the different types of balls you can use and some of the mechanical changes you got from like the moon ball that makes you jump higher. The multi-ball that lets you get essentially like 3 shots out of one ball. The ball that throws you into a cage, and the explosion ball that can hurt you if you fuck around too much. Like it's just cool shit. I was pleasantly surprised. That's the way I
think we were enjoying the arenas. The arenas were quite diverse and quite fun to navigate around. You know, chasing each other down alleyways and stuff, and waiting around corners and all that stuff. That was cool. And like you mentioned, in terms of the mechanics, it did start to grow and evolve as we played it more. And
so it's like a free run. What is going? What?
So basically, just think of it as like speedball or windjammers.
No. I mean, was you guys being able to play it? Was it like a free trial or something?
Yeah, it was a free trial.
It's still going on, by the way.
It's still going on.
And that was another thing as well. We were all on different platforms. I think Juice was on a PlayStation. I was on
Switch when I was with you guys.
Yeah, and
I went on PS5.
Yeah, the cross platform was just seamless. We just
that worked fine. Yeah.
Yep, that worked absolutely fine. Found each other's names and all hooked up, and we would all just play together.
The Switch version also supports the voice chat, so
yeah, Robert's voice coming through his PS5 controller was coming through the Switch through my surround sound.
Oh shit!
It's just crazy how if I would have plugged a headset into my Switch, I'm sure I could have talked with you in the game. I should have tried that.
You sent me a friend invite, a game invite through the Switch via the game, so it's not like Nintendo couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, that's what pisses me off. That's what I'm saying here thinking.
How did you guys accept it?
I just clicked on it. I was instantly in their game.
Oh, you just hit the home
menus.
Hit the home button.
Yeah.
You had to go out to the home button to accept?
Yeah, that's what I did, because you sent me the invite. And I was surprised then to see the home button icon appear on the screen.
Yeah, that's when you have to hit it.
Oh, so
your
invite. Okay.
Yeah, and I accepted. I was like, okay, there we go.
Yeah, perfect. We're in the party.
That should be how it works for every online game on the system.
Legit, what the hell? If it doesn't happen like that for Mario Golf, it's just gonna be like, come on,
man.
I mean, honestly,
why would you even say something stupid like that? It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be on Mario Golf.
And we have to question if all the modes are available online on Mario Golf. That's another thing. So, that was seamless.
I stand a bit with Juice about the game though. Like when I saw the original trailer, I was like, I didn't care. It seemed very bare bones and shit. But the robot kept fucking harassing me. I'm like, dude, I'm not making an EA account. And then I apparently already had one. I didn't know. So like I joined in, and like the fun for me is shit talking with you guys. I love that. I can do that in any fucking game. I don't care. Barbie's fucking Funhouse, and it's hilarious, But like the game itself, to me, I'm not even kidding. Like, we're walking around and shit, but I wouldn't put down $20 for this game. Like, after a couple of matches, if it was free to play, I would keep playing it. But I don't think there's enough for me to be like, keep playing this shit. Because without you guys, like, I'm not playing that fucking shit online, why with random people.
I was gonna say, why do we always mention a Barbie game when we try to think of
the
least likely game?
Yeah, why?
Think of the Barbie games and shit. The imaginary Barbie game.
I I do want to say the other cool thing I thought is that we were kind of all good at different things. Juice is a sneaky motherfucker. I want that to be put on one.
I never knew he was in the game. He was just always
exactly
just around and killing you.
Dude, Juice got really good about getting quiet and fucking skulking around areas.
And I didn't mute my mic this time, so.
No, you were just quiet.
No, I was trying to get Retro time. Like, Retro, I haven't. Where are you at? Tell me where they're at. You know, and then he would never say anything.
Retro's best attribute is dashing into people and being a dick.
Oh yeah, Retro.
That's literally it.
But I won some pretty good 1v1 situations. We had one where we were both throwing them really fast, and we caught it was like Ganon versus Link in fucking Ocarina of Time. It's like bouncing his ball of electricity back at him, and we're back.
Yeah.
And then I got, if you catch it at the perfect time, then you get like a 1 second window to throw it back at like super fast speed. And I even caught one of those maybe at least once, maybe even twice. And yeah, it was rewarding, when you win those battles. But I just felt like, I think the game would benefit more from more than a 3v3 situation, because there are times where it's like, where are they at? Like,
well, apparently they're adding a 4v4.
Okay,
because it's not just gonna be 3v3. So they're gonna add more like.
No, it was 4 versus 4, but we just didn't have more players.
No,
3v3.
I mean. Because that was one level, so I loved all the levels and stuff, like the sky.
I even like the fucking hate.
But like you had the one level with the pizza burger and shit, and like for most of the match, I didn't see fucking anybody. Like
the entire match. It's a little big. Like I remember that. It was a little
what does that remind me of? Where you don't see anybody? I don't know. Maybe it's Call of Duty maps are geared for 6v6, and then you play like a 2v2 or something, and it just never feels the same. You run out of time.
I think the biggest problem for me with this game, and it's a real problem, is that there's no kind of mini map on the screen. Like the whole point is it's a team game. You can pass the ball to each other. The whole point is to hunt others down. But like if I see somebody, I started to communicate and stuff like with Terrell in the skyscraper level. I'm like, okay, Terrell, I see clocked it. He's I don't know, like to my left. Like, how is he gonna fucking know where that is? Like
he did that too. He fucking did that, and Clucked coming over on the side, and I'm like, which where? And he's like, the left. I'm like, which left? And now, all of a sudden, I just see Clucked coming in the hand clock, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah, I would say my biggest complaint is just the character designs are just so off-putting.
Yeah,
so ugly. Other than Retros look just like them.
I was thinking the same shit. I was like, that dude actually looks like Richard.
So I just think aesthetically, I know what they're trying to go for. To me, it felt like they're trying to go for a little Fortnite, a little Splatoon, kind of capture those types of audiences. But when your character models are just that ugly, like, I don't know, man. That to me seems like. What are I
didn't think they were crazy ugly.
If you look through, I went through all the faces. I'm like, man,
they're not great.
Especially when it's one size fits all. It's a guy or a girl, but the faces don't. It's just they're all the same. It's like.
Yeah, I'm not saying I loved them, but I didn't think they were that bad. Like he says, the retro one looked pretty cool. I thought Terrell looked alright.
Yeah, retro is weird.
Oh, you're talking about the one with the high top.
Yeah, looking pretty good.
I will say the game defaults to the 30 frames per second mode on Switch, because it looks decent. I was like, man, this looks pretty good, and then this is quality mode, and switched to performance, and it definitely gets a lot.
It's blurry, but it feels more consistent. It's a more consistent 60. Like I didn't really feel like I was losing frames in the performance.
Yeah,
the main character in Immortals just looks way worse, than.
I'll say there is one character.
I'm not a huge fan of that design either.
There's one character, Hermes, that looks close to, but Knockout City just made the Immortals characters look 100 times better, in my opinion. I was even thinking that earlier. Thanks, Knockout City, for making Immortals characters look so much better now.
I think the main point is that I feel like I went into the game being like, oh, this is gonna be some dog shit, and I was like, it has potential. It has potential. It very much has potential.
We had fun. It's got the mechanics there to be certainly competitive.
I think it just needs
it makes it both.
a problem though, because you said it had potential. It has potential. If you
It's
want me,
missing something in
I
my
shouldn't be
opinion.
I shouldn't be spending money for something that has potential.
No,
That's
wait there,
true.
wait there, wait there, wait there.
No,
I
yeah,
want,
I agree.
I do
Yeah.
want to fight that a bit. I think the game is. I thought the game was good. I
Yeah,
thought the game
it
was
looks like
good,
it's fun.
and it was fun. We were all cracking up. We were all having a laugh, and we only played the one mode. You know, there
Yeah,
is
we didn't
more.
try the other mode to be fair.
Yeah, you know, there is more and stuff. So I think based off the plays that we did have, it was fun. And it's certainly the type of game that you could just pick up and have a little blast on.
Yeah, I wish
You
you
know,
know.
It's a good first. I would say it made a good first impression for the most part.
Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like the running's a little stiff, and then when
I don't like that you have
when
to
you like
click
get in
down
the
the button.
parasail thing and like the button, I wish those were switched, but still, it's like an updraft. So I thought, I learned, but I was like, oh,
it
I'll
doesn't.
gain altitude. No, you go forward,
Yeah,
and it
you know,
just, I feel like they could
sorry.
tweak that a little bit so you could actually get a little bit more altitude as a strategy. It'd be a one of those high risk, high reward strategies, but just it feels like to me it felt like I think it is like an indie studio that made it too. So
it's well, it's the guys that did Mario Kart Live. I was bringing up. They're the
Yeah.
guys that did Mario Kart, and they're Nintendo's partner, for the last game. And
well, that's not. I
I
mean,
mean, it doesn't. Let's be honest here. You know, it's not going to feel as smooth and as animated as something like Splatoon because Splatoon is a
it's made
AAA,
by
fucking Nintendo game. But as an indie, somewhat not budget, but had some money put on it. It's a double A title. I think it did its job for the night, and it definitely would do its job for a few more nights with some different modes and a few more laughs and stuff.
yeah,
So.
I think it'd be smart of them to make that free to play.
Yeah,
Now,
I think they're screwing their chances. Their popularity.
I'm gonna agree with Royal Hustler 09 in the chat. It very much depends on how EA wants to handle this moving forward because it's EA and they can easily fuck this up
That's
by
what they
like
do.
and I feel bad. That would bother me because I'm like I feel like you have a base, and if you're gonna update it, it will progressively get better. But if you start charging for dumb shit, you will kill this game quicker.
well,
I don't know
then,
what.
And then we're going into the debates, of where we're saying, it should have been free to play.
Yeah.
And it's like, should it be free to play? Because what? Because Fortnite is free to play, and all these other big games are free to play. Can't we have these budget multiplayer games at a single fixed price anymore?
It depends on how they handle the the character upgrade or the visuals. Do you earn those in the game, or is there going to be?
So it's both. It's both. Apparently, you could earn it, but then there's also like I guess you could get some cosmetics. You could buy them or something like that. Like you could straight up just buy the cosmetics.
My thing is just that this. First of all, it's a value thing. You can't charge me for something and then
Then abandon it.
Yeah, because it's multiplayer only online.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, I just can't get with it. I can't pay to get into something like that. Now I might if you give it to me, free, then I might start. Okay, yeah, I'll buy some shit. While I'm in there, I'll buy some.
Even I bought Fortnite.
Like I'll feel obligated to do that, and I think that's why the other guys succeed so well because people don't just come in. There's some people here and there, but a lot of people like to have their characters decked out and shit if they're really playing your game. So they'll spend some money, and that's that's where you should try to.
I'm just talking for the success of the game. I think it should have been free to play just for it to have a chance.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I think they're gonna hurt the success of it by charging people.
And apparently it's on Game Pass. Somebody
it's on Game Pass.
Hustler said it's on Game Pass. So. Maybe it'll have a life on Xbox.
Yeah, maybe that's Game Pass might save it.
Well, so to me, this game, to me, this is the way I see it. Like, the entrance fee is pretty damn small.
Oh, don't bring that shit up. That was the whole problem.
Because it's not even $30. It's $20 game. To me, it's like it's not even like I see it. I'm like, damn. I would have paid $20. We played like 2.5 hours or whatever, and I had a bunch of fun. And I'm like, yeah, it was like an IMAX ticket. It's like we saw a movie together, and that was great. And I'm like, that was my $20 worth there. It kind of like, you know, where, and then you play more, like if we play more like next week or something, I would have already gotten my $20 worth. I feel like, but that's why to me it's it depends per person, like how you feel about that. But like to me, I I am gonna buy this game at least to just support it. Like I am gonna 100% buy this game just because I love the idea of it. I think it's a mix of like a few things. It's like a, you know, it's a dodgeball game, but it's also kind of a it's almost like a shooter because you're shooting the ball, you know. But then you have this slick movement, so you're like running around and you know, you see the ball coming at you, you dodge and turn back, catch it, toss it, and another ball's coming out. It was badass. It was really cool, and there were these really intense moments. Like I uploaded that one thing to Twitter where it just like it was 3 of you guys against me, and there's going back forth, and then all of a sudden I throw the clock, dude, he's out, dude, dodger to the side, and it was just intense and real quick.
You
and
should try
fast-paced.
playing it with randoms, just to see
Yeah,
if you have
I
the
should.
same fun.
Yeah, I
So
definitely should try it out.
I'm gonna. I have one other complaint that I forgot to mention, and then I want to kind of get into whether or not it's if the $20 price tag is worth it. The only other complaint I had, and I think Juice may have said it too, is sometimes you don't know when the fuck you're getting hit. Like, I think the biggest, like, there's now I found out as we played matches, there is an indicator.
Yeah, it's
If
that
If
red-
they're
red.
holding, if they're holding it down.
Yeah. So like, you get an indicator, but if not, you're just getting sniped from like and the problem is certain balls, they fucking home. They'll home on you. So you could be out of a range and still get hit and not
And
realize
you can
what
get
the
hit
fuck
twice
happened.
back to back, and you're out.
Yeah. I think that was the other thing you mentioned. There was no invincibility frame.
Yeah, there's
You
no.
should also not lose points for falling out of the level. Give
Yeah,
me like a
that was the
respawn thing or
Come
something.
on.
you know?
That thing is a pain. They need to remove clips.
you-
yo.
yeah, if you don't get
how many,
hit-
Alright, now
games, how
listen,
many
listen.
games punish you for suicide? Loads of games punish you for suicide.
I mean,
Yeah, but
I didn't have that problem.
punish me with a respawn delay. It's like you're learning the controls. I fell off twice in the first 10 seconds. I
respawn.
said,
You
yo,
won't
these
fall
bitches
off
didn't-
that often though.
No,
And you
I
can
know
knock
what
people
you're talking
off.
about.
You can
But
knock
you're
people off
running-
though.
You don't really know
Yeah.
the levels. I'm walking backwards, trying to avoid clock that, catching a ball from like
That sounds like a
Terrell,
retro
throwing
problem.
it back and shit, but I'm already dead. There's a cliff behind
Yeah,
me.
but you know what, Retro? I was thinking, I was like, yeah, you know what? That's they shouldn't give you take a point, but you could kind of abuse it where like literally if someone's throwing the ball
You
at
just
you
jump
and you're
off.
like, fuck it, I'm jumping off, whoa, and then you won't get hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's no different to Splatoon when you didn't know the levels. You were swimming around, someone's chasing you, running back, and then you fall into the
Right.
water. You go, what the
Yeah, and there's a respawn delay. The
Yeah,
enemy doesn't instantly get a point.
It's a
I
different
know you're
game.
moaning. I know
Yeah,
you're moaning
there's a
about the
different
point
game, yeah.
stuff. I'm just talking about the falling off and suicide stuff. It happens.
I
those
don't remember
games.
doing it
Oh,
after
and
the
you
first.
keep it in.
I barely fell
Yeah,
off after the
I
first
barely.
couple.
I only fell off if I was like hit or something. But it's so I want to compare it to another game, and they already mentioned in the chat. T already knows. Ninjala was a free to play game. In that game, it was like either you play it and enjoyed it, or you just said fuck it. And guess what? Most people said fuck it.
I
The
didn't
one-
enjoy it personally.
There's a difference though, but go ahead.
The one thing I'll say is I'm not a huge fan with the $20 price tag, but I would say personally for me, considering how much this is probably the most enjoyment I've gotten out of a free to play game in a while, a good while actually. Because the mechanics are solid enough, I would be willing to spend the $20 for the game.
We got 2, yo. We got 2 points.
I enjoyed it, and I think it has enough potential to where I can justifiably, as the game is right now, be perfectly fine spending $20. But you only get it once, EA. That's my rule. You fuck this up. If you fuck this up, it's it.
None of us played Ninjala, did we?
Ninjala.
I know.
I played
No,
Ninjala.
I tried it.
It was
It's
okay,
really
man.
good.
I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I
It
personally
failed
didn't.
because
It's not
it wasn't
great.
ready.
It wasn't ready. Yeah, you're right.
So
Oh,
Knockout
no.
City has a chance.
Oh,
I mean, it's
wait,
on
I
every
think he's
platform.
frozen.
Came out. And
He keep-
Oh, T froze up.
Oh, man.
He froze like 4 times already.
All right,
Wait,
go
Okay.
ahead.
I think you're good. I think you're good.
Go for it, T. Hurry up before you freeze.
I'm just saying it was buggy. That shit came out buggy.
Just
as hell.
like your
I mean,
camera.
no, you're right. The mechanics in
Back in
Ninjala, the mechanics in Ninjala very much relied on you using a cheap ass bubble move to immobilize your opponent, and then you just beat them to death. Like and then it did that stupid rock paper scissors shit where if you got into a class, if you hit the wrong button, you're just dead.
Right.
Like I don't want to do that in every engagement. I think that was my problem with Ninjala.
That was a flaw. That was a design flaw there.
Yeah, so that's why I would say with Knockout City, I think the mechanics are solid enough to where I would justifiably spend $20.
There's more depth to it too. There's more than you think.
Yeah,
Robert buys it, Darrell buys it, and you have like a third person who buys it. I'm gonna be like, fine, if 3 people have it, I'll buy it too, because then I know I'll be playing it with you guys. But like, I'm not playing that shit. We
only need one more, yo. We've been consistent about game nights.
Game Pass, whatever.
That's true. That's true. If T has Game Pass, it counts as a sale, yo. That counts as a sale.
But I do want to acknowledge something that I don't know how long ago it was that we were having a podcast discussion about cross-platform play. Now it's just we're so used to it. Yeah, we gave it a nod. We gave it a little bit of a praise that it worked so seamless, but. Remember, we lived in a time where this was just unheard of. Like that was like the dream people wanted. Where, like T, you could have been on your Series X, Robert was on PS5, and the rest of us were on Switch when we were playing. And it works seamless. Like we could voice chat each other. It's just crazy that we're in a place where that's just
it was unheard of 4 years
accepted
ago,
and just normal now.
Literally only 4 years. Yeah.
I think it's. I feel like it all started with Fortnite.
Fortnite.
That was when Sony had to, and they made that deal where they get a little extra cut for some. That's the only reason.
What do you mean the PlayStation is the best place to play? We don't need to do cross-play.
But they caved
they closed that shit up real quick.
Microsoft, Nintendo kind of led the way, and now we're in an awesome place where it's like, you don't have to worry about, like, oh man. I don't have if you guys were playing and somebody didn't have a Switch but they had a PS4 or something, they can play it. Like you don't have to worry. Like I imagine it's good for people like streamers and stuff who have their followers and maybe have game nights with them and stuff. Now you got to worry about having all having the same system, buying the copy on. It's so free. Like to whatever system you want to play it on. It's like I hope. There's more stuff like this, I don't imagine it's gonna go away, but it's so nice. I think Call of Duty does it now. I haven't played a Call of Duty since.
Yeah, we started.
Call of Duty
Warfare, which is massive.
Which uses what was used to be BattleNet, right? That's what they use.
No, but it's still BattleNet. I think because at least on my if I type in right now, it's BattleNet on my computer, technically.
So you gotta create. For each one of these companies, you got to have an account, but that enables cross-platform play, and to me, that's worth. I already have accounts in all those anyway, so that's a cool thing, and I was surprised just how well it works, and if
better together.
If indies, an indie company backed by EA can make it work so seamless on Switch, it just really shows. I almost feel like this is gonna sound like blasphemy. Remember when the rumor that EA Origin was going to be what the Wii U's online was, and everyone was like, oh, thank God we dodged that bullet. And I'm almost like, I don't know, man, we might be in a better place with Switch Online if that had happened. We might be.
At this point.
Wash your mouth out, man. I take nothing. I take nothing.
Well, you know what though?
Rob with this the other night, this EA praise, this EA praise. Hey man, EA man, they can fall games recently, man. They might be back on track. That's
I'm not ready to get on anything.
That's where you fall into the hole, man. You can't have a company giving you lumps of turds, forcing it into your mouth to say you want one more. You want one more.
Left and right.
Hey, they don't have a streaming service.
And then have like four decent games over like a year or two, whatever. I say I think they're coming back. It's Redemption. Fuck you.
Nah, but hold on a second.
It's gonna take so much.
It's gonna take a decade.
I think I've gone past it. I think I've gone past the redemption part.
But hold on a second though. Remember, maybe not main EA, but EA Originals, they haven't missed, yo. They haven't missed it. If I'm being honest with you, they haven't missed.
That's fine.
Okay. Dude, EA Originals Unravel 1 and 2.
Up at some point.
And that's Retro Faye. I know you like that Faye.
I'm gonna say I'm actually more on Robert's side, where I think EA. I don't
A
like
Way
the
Out,
sports
It
games,
Takes
but
Two.
EA has a ton of great fucking games. What I think is curious in this case is that EA now you're like, nah, 4 games, man. This shit doesn't make it bad. All of a sudden, they're still trash. But like 2 months ago, I was saying the same shit. No, but now Capcom all of a sudden is good because they give you like one fucking Resident
No,
Evil
that's
with big asses and
that's
No,
shit
we
like
not.
said
that.
Resident
No,
Evil's on.
no.
That's not even close. Stop it.
Resident Evil has
That's
what?
the same thing. That's not the same thing.
Capcom's
at
had
all.
4 or 5 in a
At
row. Like,
all, yo. What the fuck?
Retro, man. You make it hard. You make it hard
But-
to love you.
No.
take the sports games out. Take the sports games out. And they had
Yeah,
Star Wars Fallen Order seemed to be well received because Respawn.
which is a really good
Titanfall
game.
2
Titanfall
Respawn.
2.
But then you feel that. Then you go
Respawn.
to Andromeda, whatever.
Andromeda,
No,
yeah.
hell no.
And
Hell no.
not Bioshock.
Anthem. I think Anthem.
2 misfires.
No.
Yeah.
Dead Space.
Dead Space 3 before that, but
As
Uh,
what
Also
else
a
do
little
they
bit
do
ago.
though? What else have they done other than the sports games, good or bad?
Man, they just do mainly sports games, man. If I'm being honest, it's
But they
so
fuck
much
up
of
the
it
sports
game.
games so badly, which are like the easiest
Yeah.
games to not fuck up.
Well, they
did-
they
It's
just
easy.
They're too
It's
embarrassed
so-
to even put out a basketball game.
It's
They
so
just gave up.
easy to skim over the games. It's so easy to skim over the games, but you can't do that. You gotta go into each and every
Tell them,
fucking
Clock. Tell
game.
them. Tell
You
them.
gotta go into each and every fucking game and say, "Oh yeah, they done Battlefront. Okay, what was wrong with Battlefront? Everything
Oh, that's
Every
was
fucking thing
fucking
was wrong
wrong.
with Battlefront.
Was
Yeah.
wrong.
Everything.
What was wrong with Battlefront 2? Everything was wrong with fucking Battlefront 2. And then you go into it, the micro fucking transactions. You want to play Darth Vader? Or pay for 10,000 hours or pay me £20 right now, motherfucker. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
think
you're
everything
right,
I
man.
mentioned was after that. I was
Everything they did to BioWare was.
Well, even
That was enough.
even Anthem. Anthem was like,
Anthem was a travesty. Like, man, like they've dropped epic bomb after epic bomb. Capcom hasn't done. Like, I've hated Capcom for a long time, but I hate them because I love them.
What was
You know
the
what I'm
last
saying?
like
They-
really
I know
dumb
they can
thing
do better than
Capcom
what the
did?
fuck they're doing. It's
yeah,
not,
like when you think about it, Capcom.
The Mega Man
Capcom
collection
is
on
good-
Switch? Was that like the last? Was that the last like really bad thing they did where they?
I wouldn't. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
The what,
it-
the what collection, sorry?
Did they do like a
Mega Man.
Mega Man where it
Mega
wasn't the
Mega Man
whole?
shit.
I wasn't all in the cart or something. What was the last like
Yeah, it was
bad
like
thing?
first
That
they
was
did?
probably
They
that was
cheap
like,
asses cheaped out on a 4 gig cart because they didn't
Yeah.
want to put the.
But we're
Oh.
talking, we're
but that's
talking
like
about.
that's like the worst thing though in the
Yeah, but
last
they-
like
I mean,
4
yeah.
years.
I mean,
like-
that's what they do. That's the type of stuff they do. But what EA do, EA fundamentally try to fuck the consumer
the
and the,
game.
industry and the game over and over and over. And like I said, just because they had a recent string of some good indie original games, right? It Takes Two could be the best game ever fucking made. I couldn't give a shit. Right? I could not give a shit, right? It's not that it's, I mean, and I don't even class that as EA. You got this little separate little indie studio house that is
Yeah.
being funded by them. Okay, thanks EA for funding them. Guess what other publisher fund good shit? Everyone fucking else funds good shit, but that doesn't change the publisher themselves. Doesn't change those
For sure.
douchebags themselves. I cannot give them
Definitely.
credit,
I get that.
for that type of stuff. So
Because it's what
Ubisoft.
it feels like they
Ubisoft
just.
back in our good graces.
It feels like they do. EA does the stupid shit just so the next year, 2 years later, we have this in Battlefront 2 now. The thing that should have been there. We have space battles now, and it just
Yeah.
felt like
I want you
They
to pat
lower
on the
it.
back for shit.
like
they
you
don't-
want a pat on
they
the
did-
back
they-
for doing
They
what you should have done.
disappoint fans to lower expectations to then like come off as the good guys a couple years later with a basic ass like upgrade that they could have done in the first game.
You can
It's
go
like how
online
long-
now.
how long
I
did
was
it
sitting here
take?
playing like fucking NBA Street the other day. I'm like, man, EA used to be so fucking good. Like in the like
Well, what
that and like Lord of the Rings and GameCube, all this shit. Like, what
is it Fallen Order?
the
Star
fuck
Wars.
happened?
It's Fallen Order, right? The new Star
Mhm.
Wars game, yeah.
Yeah.
So like with Fallen Order, literally before that, the only thing that triggered that fucking game, right, was EA themselves, where they said single player games are dead.
Mhm.
Single player games are dead. We ain't making shit anymore. It's all gonna be fucking online, all this shit. And everyone went, what the fuck are you talking about? Fucking single player games are dead. They're like, all right, motherfuckers, we'll make one single player game. And if it doesn't sell, fuck you. Right? And
Well,
luckily,
they canceled
fucking
that
made
other
it.
one. They canceled the
Well,
one.
they cancelled that other
The
one
one
they were
made
showing,
by
what was it
Uncharted
called?
writer. What was her
and
name?
it was set
Oh,
to
yeah.
Who was making
Yeah,
that?
Amy Hennig.
That was
What's it
Visceral,
called?
I think.
Oh yeah, the
13,
guys that
13.
did Dead Space.
Visceral. I think?
13.
13,
was it?
13. Yeah, that's it.
That
13,
that
13.
fucking blows, dude. Yeah, that
But
shit
you know,
blows.
in order to get some of this stuff, they had the Star Wars license, man.
Well, don't forget
The
their
biggest-
money had it, and they bought they bought the NFL, they bought the Star Wars, and then no one else can make the shit, and then they just get lazy
Yeah,
with it.
that's the other problem.
That's what
they've locked out IPs that shouldn't be locked to one fucking company. It's fucking Star Wars. Like why is Star Wars?
But you know what? Those days are long gone. The days of being able to just do whatever you want with commercial IPs, those days are long.
That shit is
Fuck,
over.
You're right.
They ended in the GameCube era, all that stuff. That ended all then. It's gone now. You cannot no I can't imagine any company. Can you imagine Disney now just saying, yeah, just give them the Spider-Man license to this team. Yeah, give X-Men to these guys. It don't happen. Not even Capcom can make a fucking X-Men game in fucking anymore. Just
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the reason why you have these weird deals, like how Marvel Ultimate Alliance is now tied to Nintendo, because that was the game, that was the IP they went for, or like
you know,
the shit go ahead.
yeah, all I was gonna say is let me just come back and say I am glad that some of these EA originals are good games, because they've done some good games before.
Didn't they do Sea of Solitude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That wasn't
Yeah,
so good.
yeah.
That's
You
not
know,
very good.
just like
It was
Ubisoft done you know, some good stuff, you know, with what's the name, Princess what's the game called with the princess, Sleeping Beauty story.
Fuck, is that Child of Light you're talking about?
Child of Light, yeah, I completed this one.
yeah.
Child of Light and
Just
stuff.
bought
And,
the goddamn game.
yeah, they went through their phase of some good stuff like that. These publishers they seem to understand gaming at a smaller level that we all crave, that AA indie level, which is actually supporting the industry that we have today in terms of creativity and originality,
Yeah.
compared to what we get from the AAA market. But then when it comes to the AAA market, it's just like, nah, fuck them over as much as we can. Make them
Yeah, right.
real quiet. And we'll give him the odd trick of a good game every now and then. But the next game, ooh, we're gonna get it down. We get it.
Yeah, that's
like some fucking evil villains or some shit.
That's exactly what they like. That is what EA are exactly.
Yeah, 'cause,
like.
I don't trust them.
I can't think of
trust
a
them, yeah.
single Capcom game. Maybe Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, where you had to
That
they
was
charged
the last
you for
word.
like
Oh,
bullshit.
yeah.
Do they even have games where they charge you for bullshit, like where they try to do transaction stuff?
For which one?
Any
What's this
Capcom
thing?
game.
Capcom?
I think the
I
only
don't
other
think so.
one would be maybe Street Fighter V, where you had to get
Street Fighter
you could buy costumes and
The
shit.
costumes and stuff.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
costumes come on.
Nothing wrong with Street Fighter 5.
Well, no,
See, Rob. You see
no,
that?
look-
Dude? You see Rob? You see Rob? He went, yeah, you know, the costumes and stuff. You see that?
Hey man.
So
no,
Smash
no,
has
You
that.
got 'em. You got
Smash
'em.
has that.
Smash has
Listen,
meat costumes. yo.
Listen. I don't
Smash
understand.
has meat costumes.
Gotcha,
I'm just gonna put this in context. Retro, I don't understand where the comparison is at when it comes to EA and fucking Capcom.
It's not even
And like
close.
the Capcom hasn't been, I would consider, trash at least maybe about 4 years.
My
I
whole
probably would say-
problem,
I can
okay,
do-
the
I
way
want to agree.
the reason I made that comparison is because, you know, it's not like I like either better than the other, you know. It's like Clockett said, I got little games from both of them that I really enjoy and shit. But my
Right.
problem is that Clockett, he hates EA so much and trashes it. Like right now, you know, it's like, oh, they're making 4 like games, so all of a sudden you can't call them good. But like, remember, I don't know how many of you remember, Capcom wasn't there in the beginning of the Switch. We hated that shit. It was fucking garbage. But then you get like a 3DS port or some shit, you know, and like, oh, maybe like a port a year later in the 3rd year of the Switch and shit. But now all of a sudden we got 2 Monster Hunter games and like Resident Evil ass, and it's the greatest shit ever. No, fuck off.
No.
It's still on the same level.
No.
Because
how they
That's-
Why
treat
did you downplay with on maybe as a Nintendo fan?
As
I'm talking about
Switch, yeah,
Capcom as a
but
company.
in general.
Man, as a
Listen, even
Capcom fan,
if-
you can't make that argument. I'm just saying.
even if you hated Ultra Street Fighter 2, which you got in the freaking background by there, right? Right? Yeah, Capcom early Street Fighter launch of Street Fighter 2, yeah? Even though you got that, even if you hate on that, right? And then you hate on the Monster Hunter port, those games weren't broken. Those games
No.
didn't try to
They didn't ruin
lynch
the
you in
franchise.
any
They
way.
were just late.
If
They
you
were-
wanted to pay 60 quid for Street Fighter 2, fine, go ahead and pay £60 for Street Fighter 2. But the shit was fine.
Was
right?
it that much?
It was 40.
I think
It
it
was 40
No,
here.
it was it 60 or 40? I thought it was 50.
40.
Maybe it's 40 or
No, it
something
was
like
40 in the
I
U.S.
thought it was 40. Yeah. I thought
Was it? Okay,
Mhm.
cool.
The
All
30th.
yeah.
I don't even think the 30th anniversary
It's
collection.
still
was,
too fucking much.
I think that was
by
40 as
the
well.
way.
Yeah, it was still too much. But to me, I justified it by like, okay, well, this game isn't physical anywhere. Like, this is the first time it's physical and shit, you know? Like,
Right.
So that's what was like, all right, that's cool. I can rock with that then.
And,
I'd say
and-
I justify the EA thing because, like I said, I off the bat, I don't give a shit about any of the sports games and shit. But EA in the last couple of years had brought a decent amount of incredible fucking indie style games, and they had a bunch of them. It's not like all of a sudden they're trying. Like, yeah, they're trash when it comes to that stuff and the online games and that kind of shit. And maybe Capcom just isn't trash with it because they don't try it and stuff. I'm just saying, like, it's not like Capcom is leagues fucking better, considering. And you can say, "Oh, but this is just the Switch." Man, we were all bitching about the Capcom shit for the first.
No,
Yeah.
listen. Hey, no. I'm let me break this down real quick. I want to put this. So, in the last few years, we've gotten the revival of Mega Man in the form of 11, which was a relatively well received game.
Mhm.
You fucking fixed Resident Evil, which was in hell for a while. Even if you don't like 7, you like either you like 7 or you like the 2 remake.
Or
The
you
3
like,
remake, or
both.
or you like both. 8 has so far been a pretty well reviewed game, and fucking the 3 remake
Monster Hunter
is
Worlds.
Monster Hunter. That's the other thing. I
I
mean,
couldn't care. I didn't care too much for the casualness of it, but it wasn't a bad game. It wasn't like a
Right.
shit game. It was good.
and it got
and-
better with DLC and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
and it brought Monster Hunter to a lot more people than it ever had before. And then you put on top, okay, now you're finally getting your shit together when it comes to Switch. You're putting out 2 quality ass Monster Hunter games. Finally, like,
plus,
so it's
I
not
mean,
like, oh, I completely forgive you for
And Ghost
wasting.
and Goblin, Joe.
And, oh, yeah,
Well,
well,
I'll-
but
At
some
least,
people like that,
but at
you
least,
know?
at least, all right. Look. At least it's an IP that hasn't been touched in a while.
Right.
I mean,
yeah,
to be fair, if it seems like people like it though.
Yeah.
it's pretty
I'm
good.
not just shitting on. I love Capcom. Like, Capcom gives me that anime goodie, you know. I'm just saying most
you
of like
bitch.
90% of the shit that you guys just said is in the last year only.
No.
Last 4 or 5 years, Monster Hunter
90%.
World came out
What are you
2016.
talking about,
90
2017?
I said 90% of it. You have the 2 Monster Hunter games,
Okay.
Mega Man 11, Resident Evil 8.
11's like 3 years old already. That was 2-3
Mega
years
Man
ago,
is
Mega
old
Man
already?
11.
2019, wasn't it?
That's
Yeah,
2.
Mega Man. I
That
think it's
makes it
I
even
think
worse. That
2018.
means this shit is like 4 years old and you haven't seen Mega Man 12 yet?
No, you quit changing it. First,
No,
either
you
way,
can't do that. You
either
can't do
way,
that.
we're moving on. We're moving on.
You can't do that. I'm just saying.
I was just
He moved
gonna
the
add.
fucking goalpost. I don't hear shit.
I was just gonna add that, you know, the stuff that I chewed Capcom out about, I chewed them out about Street Fighter 5. I'm not even gonna go into that.
That's
Street
fair.
Fighter 5 for
Yeah.
what it was. Same as Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That was a disaster, I thought, for me.
That's fair.
But yeah, but you know, the stuff that Capcom do overall is just annoying, stupid shit. Yeah,
Right.
that you chew them out about. You go, why the fuck did you do that? You son of a.
Why did you
Yeah,
release
you-
Okami digital only? You know, stuff like that. People were.
Yeah, that kind of
Yeah.
shit. You know?
But
Yeah.
what, like I said, what EA do as a publisher as themselves, for the most part, is agony.
They try to
Pain
screw over.
and and agony in their products,
I
in
love
their
the British
products,
people talk about
their-
agony and pain.
their attitude towards consumers, their attitude towards the industry, how they feel they are on top of this mountain and everyone should bow to them.
Plus their
And they do
E3
it
shows.
constantly. So I'm not hating on
That's
the
true.
EA. I'm not.
Holy shit.
You didn't hear me once hate on these EA Origin games, right? Not once.
The
Right?
original
They're,
game.
they're different developers, and those
That
games
doesn't
could be.
that doesn't
Those
negate
games could be
everything
gold
else.
dust.
Publish good games.
All I'm
once in a while,
hating on,
good.
all I'm saying is, I ain't giving EA any goddamn credit until at least 20 years of good behavior. And and if they bring back Mutant League Football, Desert Strike, fucking Road Rash, and all that shit, man, they're gonna be fucking glorious.
Now, but let me ask you, what are we on year 2? Are we on year 2 of good behavior?
Yeah, okay, so 18 years ago.
What I think the
18
Mass Effect
Also,
remaster
side
has
note,
been well done.
Also, well, that's
Yeah,
fine.
Mass Effect looks like it's good.
Also, Side note, just to throw out one more Capcom victory. Devil May Cry fucking 5.
Devil May Cry 5, exactly.
You said
That's
it.
another fucking IP that was dead.
And I just love how we need to now salute a port of
Devil May Cry
Xbox
really
of
dead?
Xbox 360 games. By that had some things touched up on them. Just like, yeah, well done, EA, you didn't fuck up this port.
Yeah,
It is really good. It is really good.
it seems to be whoever handled it did a good job with it. At
Yeah,
least.
but then we forget about the one brand new game in that series which completely destroyed the series in its entirety.
And their
very
next
true.
game
Well,
has been trashed.
Yeah.
So BioWare's probably trashed now too, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
BioWare. I think
Yeah,
it's-
BioWare's got hardly any of the original people left in it.
Right.
in the end of the day, though, we may be looking at the game of the year published by EA, yo. I'm gonna say the
What game?
2021 game
How
of the
dare
year.
you?
It Takes Two, yo.
Oh,
It might
okay.
not be-
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, I forgot about It Takes Two. That's
I saw a
It-
commercial for
So
that.
it's
Yeah,
like,
That's fine, Rob. That's fine. That's fine.
that's gotta give him like 3
It's still
years
like
worth
EA
of
property.
3 years worth of props, yo. It's gotta be 3 years
yeah.
worth of props.
They let that
That's
crazy ass
a-
dude
you're-
make 2 games now. Whatever. His
Yeah, they
name
did.
is.
Yeah, they
Hey,
made,
man, they've been
Joseph
good.
Parrish or whatever.
They've been
So,
good.
You
I'm
can't
not
really
mad at it.
count that.
He's so
Because, like, D doesn't even count Smash Bros. As Nintendo. You can't count It Takes Two as, like, EA.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
he's frozen from that comment.
I'm not even-
Speaking of T, you said you had last
Let's
week. You
move
said
on.
you had a GameCube guess the Metacritic game.
oh shit.
You have that? You have that ready? We
Yeah,
can.
give me a second. Okay.
All right, I'll read it. We'll go to a question here.
I'm fucking mad, yo.
All right, let's see.
Come out of nowhere.
I just realized the podcast name, yo. I'm not gonna say EA hating.
All right, this is an interesting question from Dave97. Thoughts on the former Retro Studio employee getting harassment for expressing his take on the well, he didn't say this, but on the possibility of the Metroid Prime trilogy for Switch, because we didn't really talk about that. I didn't know the dude's getting hate, so I guess I didn't know that.
Of course,
it
someone's
essentially,
gonna hate
it essentially boiled down to, he was asked about it, and he was like, I don't think a port of like the Prime trilogies in development.
And he gave reasons why, like as from an inside information. He didn't say it was, he says it's unlikely, very unlikely. So people are harassing him for saying that. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Did he say he would? It was
It's
I
not
don't
his
know. Well, it would take a lot of work. But then I didn't go into the details.
Well, he said
whether that work
he
was
said-
was he just talking about just the regular ports of, let's just say, the
Or is it the
the
Wii
Wii
version?
trilogy,
He was
or was he
talking
talking about
about-
remakes or something?
The third one specifically would be the hardest, in that they're, according to him, something along the lines of like the code would have to be almost completely reworked. Like it'd be like, would sound like I don't know. He didn't time it, but it sounded like it'd just be like a full on port. If they had like 4 or 5 people working on it, it would take about a year.
Oh,
Something like
I
that.
found the quote. I think I found the quote.
But he's just given his impressions of its chances of being released and why he thinks it probably is unlikely. So it's like,
It's interesting because they're on Wii U,
yeah, but they have the motion aiming.
but
and stuff.
then
The third game.
Like,
wait, Dad, no, the Wii U games. When
Well,
you
they're
actually
not Wii U.
downloaded it from the Wii U Virtual
It was the
Console,
Wii. It was the Wii version.
it was a Wii version.
Yeah, so he said the code would be hard
Right.
to. They'd have to basically.
He's
Start over.
the way he described it would be like a Herculean effort to switch the code from like
So-
the Wiimote code to like standard game control.
Because
So
it's-
it was basically using the Wii U version was basically using the Wii
backwards
version. So
compatible.
yeah, and then you'd only had the icon then just on the Wii U.
Yeah, it took you to
channel,
the
right?
Wii. It took you to the
Yeah.
Wii mode when you clicked on it.
Okay.
So you use
the
the Wii
whole thing
remote
is
and then
just
check.
so stupid. If you can get mad enough to get annoyed at a random dev who had no obligation to explain to you why it probably is hard, if that makes you so mad, then fucking buy a Wii and buy the game for like the 200 in total, whatever it's gonna cost you. Like,
You're asking
you
too
don't
much.
care that much. It's
You
just
can
fucking
download it.
stupid.
You don't even need the physical. Get
Yeah,
all the physical.
exactly. It's like, come on, like, get over it, man.
Well,
The game
I don't
has
know.
been there
I-
for
How
you, right?
dare you say it's unlikely? How dare you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
mean, what do you
still-
want? Like, it's the. That makes me embarrassed to be associated with gamers.
No. And I mean,
We, you know,
I mean,
you're
who
always
would
gonna
know
get those
better?
people.
Like he given his what I would guess would be the equivalent of an educated guess, but
Yeah.
almost more than like he's really educated on the subject matter. He worked for them, and so he's given his take. Now he's not. He just said it would require a lot of effort, and he thinks it's unlikely. You know,
That's why it's unlikely because it would require a lot of effort.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I was like, well, that's probably there. It goes right there. He said the first two games, no problem, probably could, because they were designed initially with standard controls, so it wouldn't be a complete like what they're doing with Skyward Sword. That's probably that game's. I'm guessing based on what he's saying about Metroid Prime, unless they had a bigger team on it, I'm guessing they've worked on it quite a while to get it to actually work with the right analog stick and the Joy-Cons. So.
And that's why they charge you.
Skyward Sword carries much more weight than Metroid.
Yeah.
You should be happy that certain devs are just like willing to open up about that shit. It's just like a few months ago, I think, like one of the devs of Xenoblade Chronicles X was like we probably won't port it. It would cost an astronomical amount of money to port that shit. It's just not that feasible. And then you don't get mad at them. You're like, okay, like you accept it.
I kind of always felt
and
that.
what's going to happen is these guys aren't going to talk anymore because they don't want fucking death threats from morons.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles X, we all said like how you got to implement the gamepad functionality. So it has to be. It's more than just porting the code, have it run on Switch. They actually have to change how core aspects of the game work. It could be done, but it's just would it be worth it? And that's one of those games you might see a next generation. They might do a definitive edition or something, or two generations.
Honestly, I honestly believe if a Xenoblade Chronicles export came, it would sell less than 2 million copies.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I would actually start playing that again. I do want to play it again.
I think it's gonna. I think they'll. I mean, everything eventually gets re-released. I think that essentially get re-released probably next system if they were to do that.
They have that awesome music though. I mean, that's the main reason, right? Retro, the soundtrack.
I knew you were saying that.
We're not doing this.
Anyway,
you go in and give it some hit detection.
All it has to like the major, the visual
hit detection,
the visual
Don't forget
improvements.
to like and subscribe.
What they could do, get rid of that ridiculous pop in that happens like so close.
Pop in and hit detection is the main one.
Pop in, add a dynamic lighting system, and get rid of the where you run through the cars. Like everything else, just it would just look. I think still hold up. But anyway, T, you got that ready? Want to play a little game
man,
here?
let's do it.
All right, you take over. So explain it, how it's going to work, and you're in charge.
This is, if you guys remember, this is the 20th anniversary of the GameCube. Technically, it would be the end of this year, November 18th, I want to say. It came out, and I remember buying it myself, and how uneventful
yeah, me
that
too.
whole process was. I knew that GameCube was not going to do well. Just my experience with the release date, and just there was not a lot of energy around it. And one of the main reasons that a lot of people don't talk about is goddamn 9/11 happened, and I think that really hurt that system's launch. Not only that, but also the Xbox original, because both of those sold around the same much. I think Xbox OG sold about 1 million more, maybe 2 million more than the GameCube did. So I think people don't really talk about it that much, but I think that was one of the major factors, because nobody cared at that time. It was a really down, scary time. A lot of people don't know who aren't old enough to remember. I was a grown man at that time, so I remember it, and it was just like a weird.
And the PS2 had a year head start. It was just
PS2, right? It came out a year earlier, so and it also had the value factor of being a DVD player. That also helped it continue to sell. But yeah, anyway, we're talking about good things here. So I came up with the idea based on, I think, some video I was going to do. I may still do it at some point. And I just kind of looked up the top 10 GameCube games based on Metacritic. And I thought it would be cool to see if you guys can figure out. Now, I'm going to give you some hints because some of this shit, there's no way you would ever figure this out.
I feel like I could guess 6 out of the 10 without hints.
Yeah, you probably could. But some of these, I was like, whoa, really? Surprising. All right, so you got to think Metacritic as well. You can't just think the best games that you would pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, or games that sold really well also. So
And this would have been IGN
this
in
is
their hype
mostly
days
there.
as well.
I think this.
So this would have been IGN in their influence hype days as well.
It's
you would
really
have
not that bad. There's a couple of
reviews.
sports games, I'll tell you that. That I was surprised that made it, but once I thought about it, I was like, yeah, those were actually really good. All right, so let's do 10-6 first to make it easier, all right?
All right.
And I'll tell you right away that there are 2 sports games in 10-6.
Wow.
All right?
Wow.
And then
2 scores in the top 10 of all time for.
2 sports games in the top 10. And I'll tell you the Metacritic range. So from 10-6, the Metacritic range is 92 to 94.
Damn.
God damn.
Oh,
Yeah,
We're
so
really tight.
that's what I'm saying. It's up there already.
Oh my
So
God.
I was really
All
surprised.
right, so I'm gonna guess one of the sports games was Tiger Woods, 2003.
Okay, so what's your number 10? If
Number
if you guys
10?
are ready to go.
Number
I can
10.
do some
So
time,
number
but-
10 would be 92. Right now?
Number 10 is a 92. Yes.
I'm gonna say.
Oh
This
man.
one surprised me.
I'm gonna say Resident Evil remake.
Resident Evil
I'm gonna.
remake.
I'm gonna say Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
2 echoes for Rob.
I don't want to.
Fuck.
92, number 10. God
The
damn.
Twilight
Okay.
Princess. No,
I'm
the
gonna
Twilight Princess
say-
is
Starting off
higher.
all the way up there.
I'm gonna say Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
I'm gonna say Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Nah,
All
that's
right,
too
so-
low.
Nah,
That's too
that's
low. I
tough.
think it's higher.
Everybody?
Yeah.
I'm no, not me.
Oh.
Um,
go on, Jason.
Oh fuck, this is really hard. I'm gonna go Burnout 2.
Burnout 2. All right.
And number 10 is.
Okay, and I also want to say that just because a number has been used doesn't mean that the Metacritic score has been used. Doesn't mean it couldn't be used again.
Yeah.
Right.
There's multiples. There's basically multiples in a certain rank or Metacritic score.
Right.
All right,
So you're gonna tell us?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, so you all know it's 92. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
So number 10 on the Metacritic list for GameCube is Eternal Darkness.
Oh.
Really?
Damn,
Right.
92.
Really?
That's what I
Damn.
thought. I was like,
I didn't know it was 92.
No, that's not surprising. That's not
Really?
surprising.
I mean, the score is not surprising, but I'm thinking, man, it's that low on the list.
Low,
Yeah, that's what I
thought-
was
thought
thinking.
it
That's
was
what I was
lower.
Yeah,
thinking.
I mean,
Really?
in quotes, low. But
If you're considering all GameCube games, I mean,
yeah, so that should get you ready. All right. So I will help you with this one because I mentioned that sports games are in the top. I'll tell you that number
I feel like-
9.
wait there. Let me get my list of GameCube games which I've got on here, just so I could quickly scan through them.
So 9's a
I'll tell you
sports
that number
game.
9
So
is
number 9 is a sports
is
game?
a sports title. Number 9. I would almost guarantee none of you guys would get this one.
Number 9 is a
Maybe
sports
one of
title,
you might.
All right.
Maybe
which
one.
means
I'm gonna go
it's-
NFL 2K3.
Dude, that's oddly specific.
Well, it's gotta be, right?
Well,
So-
you got to give a year.
Do you count Tony Hawk as a sports game?
Huh?
Is Tony Hawk a GameCube?
Yeah, that's a sports game. Yeah, I count
It's
that.
counted. I'm gonna say, shit. I don't even know the names for if it's 4 or 5. I think that's it's in N64, right? Let me see.
It'd be
Mm.
3 or 4 if you're going with the Tony Hawk. Probably 4.
I'm gonna go Madden 2003. Let's go.
Madden 03.
Yeah, Madden's used
I'ma
to get
say-
high scores.
We got Madden 03 and we got NFL.
Yeah, you know what?
2K3.
You know what? Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be. I saw it was Tony Hawk Underground. I don't remember people talking about that. So I'm gonna say, it's probably it is probably one of the Maddens, which I'll say 2K4.
I'm gonna say.
Madden
Madden
2004.
or-
Oh, okay, yeah, I
back
don't know.
to-
Yeah, I don't know.
I
Yeah,
don't
there's
want to
no-
say.
there's no-
I've
Oh,
actually
yeah,
no
okay.
fucking idea because I didn't have like.
I kind of want to go back to Tiger Woods, but
I'm gonna
Oh, I
say
wanna-
FIFA. FIFA.
gonna
I
say-
don't know. 2004. I don't know.
FIFA
I'm gonna say
2004.
I'm gonna say NBA 2K3.
NBA 2K3.
That's a good one. I forgot that was on. That was higher regarded, I think.
Is that
That's
everyone?
my. Yeah, I just don't know how they're gonna handle the sports. I'm scared.
I don't know how the fuck you pulled this out of the air. I mean, I did help you a little bit by saying it was a sports game, but that was still pretty good. Terminator Juice with NFL 2K3. How the fuck?
Because I own that shit, and it was the best. It was
That
the
shit
best.
was great though. It was.
It was
great.
the best rated
Oh man,
of
that's
the sports
hard.
games.
Yep.
Yeah, but
And it's
damn,
also
a
a 92.
fucking a
Also
92, man. You'll never see it again. You'll never see that again. I don't
NFL
think.
2K3. That one surprised me. I was like,
Brian
oh, wow.
Urlacher on the cover.
But you know,
Yeah.
it just shows how up there the 2K series was.
Yeah.
Because even my friend
Retro.
loved the 2K series on the Dreamcast. That's all he plays. 2K
Yeah.
series on the Dreamcast and stuff. So
Yeah.
he's doing really
2K2
well.
A lot of
or
people were doing
2K1 was actually my favorite out of all of them. Everybody likes 5, but I thought 1.
Oh, yeah, I love 2K1. That was my favorite.
I might have
All
given that game to a Bears fan back in the day because it was Brian Urlacher. I can't.
Brian Urlacher on the cover, yeah. But
Anyway.
damn, that was a pretty good pull. I mean, and the fact that who else? Somebody said Madden 0. It was
said,
somebody.
yeah.
Madden probably
Oh,
was
3.
in the high 80s, I'm guessing.
I said 03.
Yeah. All right. So number 8. I'll tell you this. I'll give you a hint because you're pulling this out of nowhere. It is an action game. Number 8.
And it's a 90, what, 93? What's the Metacritic score?
Am I allowed to tell you that? I guess I can. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I'm just curious
I
if
think
we're
so.
going up
Yeah,
to.
it's a 93.
It's an
93?
action
Moving up to
game.
93 now.
Action game 93.
Okay. Well, okay. Like I'm not gonna say this every single time, but if you say action game, like my mind instantly goes to Prince of Persia again. I'll say Prince of Persia: Sons of Time again.
There he goes again.
Oh man.
Action game
POP.
93. 93.
Fuck.
I'm pretty sure Metroid Prime 2 Echoes is 93, but I don't know if you consider that action. Probably more adventure. I don't know.
Oh
But-
man.
But that's why, because in that context, everything could be like an action game, So
Yeah.
Well, I can't give
Prime
you
is an
too much.
FPS, if you want to call it
I mean,
anything.
this is the top 10. You're gonna, if I break it
Well,
down,
yeah,
too much, you're gonna
Because
get-
that's why, like, I know original Prime is 97, and the second one went to 92 or 3. So I guess it would have to be 3, which means I'm gonna say, well, if the next one's numbered 93 also, shit.
Oh, damn.
Well, I'll tell you that the next one is also 93. So
So I'm not gonna say. I think that one's Metro Prime. So I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say this is. I'm gonna say this is 93 action.
But I'm gonna go with I don't want to copy Retro.
I'm gonna go Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
It's a good one.
Fuck, I'm trying to not do a
Oh, yeah, yeah.
platformer 'cause
What
I'm
the
almost
hell,
getting
man?
caught in that.
90. I'm trying to think of like maybe.
I'm gonna say Resident Evil 0.
I don't think Smash even got a 90
RE0?
something.
Yeah.
You okay?
I don't even think Smash Melee got a 90 something.
So
Wait,
Melee,
so-
I think would be high. I think Melee would be higher.
No, I don't think it even got a 90 something on Metacritic.
Yeah, Melee is overhyped
I
garbage.
think Melee got an 88.
You don't get your stupid ass out of here.
No, I think Ultimate was the highest it's been, and that was like a 92 or 93 or something.
One thing's for sure, Sunshine ain't making this
every
list.
fucking Metacritic go up every
Oh
day.
my god, yes,
No.
Sunshine, two more sunshine. That's exactly what it is. 92 or 93. Yeah, I think that's what it
He's
is.
looking at Metacritic. I can see
let's-
the
let's
reflection in
try-
your glasses.
Don't be cheating now.
No, there's no, you can see it. I think
Let's
it actually
try,
might be, I think it's a 91, but I think it's a 93. I think that might make sense.
Well,
I
go
think
ahead,
it's a
Clark.
91 though.
93 is a high.
Come on, guy.
Score, man. I'll go 007 Nightfire. Why not?
I'm gonna say Sunshine.
That's nice, actually. Damn it. Is that everybody?
That's everybody, right?
Although I shouldn't have said that because
Too late.
yeah, go on.
Go
Too late
next.
now. Too late.
Yeah, just lock it in. Fuck
You ready?
Yeah,
it.
don't
Yeah.
Go for it.
Wait, I didn't give the points. Well,
Oh.
Juice has a point. All right, so here we go.
Yeah.
Number 8, Henshin a Go-Go, baby.
Beautiful Joe.
No fucking way!
Damn.
God damn it.
That's
God damn it.
crazy.
I didn't know
And
it scored
think
that high.
I didn't think people put it that high. Fuck.
Yeah. Beautiful Joe won.
Very highly rated.
Beautiful Joe 1.
Didn't
I know.
sell
I remember it.
what it deserved to sell.
I don't remember it going that high. I remember like the,
Yeah.
the 90% mark and stuff like that. But
I thought it would have been in the
Fucking hell, it's even higher.
80s. I thought they would have put
Yeah.
it in the 80s. God damn it.
Yeah,
Damn.
Henshin and Go-Go.
Hey,
hey,
Alright.
good for Joe. Good for Joe.
I'm glad it's
Should
up
have
there.
known
but
action
God
game. I
damn
mean,
it.
now in hindsight, it seems so obvious, but I didn't think it would be that high, honestly.
I
Yeah.
didn't think it was that high either.
I feel like if I give you the genre for number 7, everybody's gonna get this
Yeah.
bitch.
It's Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, yo.
I didn't even give you. I'm trying to decide if I should.
Hey, wait, but just give us the Metacritic. Just give the Metacritic.
If you think
Well,
it's too
Metacritic
high,
is 93.
What number are we on?
It's Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, yo.
Was this number
Okay, here's my
6?
By itself
all right,
already.
Neil. All right, here's my question: is it a sports game? That's all I need to know. Is it a sports
Not a sports game.
Okay,
It's
What
Metroid
number
Prime
are we
2
on?
Echoes.
7 or 6?
Locking it in.
well,
7.
7,
Like,
right?
Number
now
7.
Now we're gonna be like, what's a sports game? You know, now more like confusing shit. Now
It's not race. None of that. I'm lumping racing and all that stuff in. No racing. No sports.
That's fine.
You know,
okay.
No professional sports of any kind. No
So-
extreme sports.
So the
I
hint
think,
is that if he tells us the genre, we'll know it. So that's the hint.
Right.
Yeah, so let's not do the
That's-
genre.
that's
Yeah,
a hint.
don't say,
You're-
yeah,
you're
don't
right.
say,
We
don't
already
say
got
the
a
genre
hint.
because I wouldn't bother saying the genre because once we get higher and higher, then it gets, you know.
I think
Yeah,
what
but
you
I tell
said
you
already
the
is
genre.
a hint, basically.
That's what I said. Yeah, it's already a hint.
That is your hint. By me saying, if I tell you the genre, you'll know it.
Which is why it's Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, yo.
I'm gonna say
Actually, I'm gonna wait till you all cast it, and I'm gonna tell you what the genre is. And I
Okay.
bet you all know.
I'm gonna say F-Zero.
I don't think
You
that
think
even hit a
F-Zero?
90. I don't even think they hit a 90.
That's 0. All right.
I think that was like 88.
I'm gonna.
Think-
No,
Get a
see,
good
see,
poker face.
no, because I wanted to originally say F-Zero, but that's why you said sports. And F-Zero is racing. It's a fucking sport. It can't be F-Zero, because else that would be my answer.
Oh, did
Like,
you, did
no,
you,
you can't
did you
do
say
that.
it was a sports game? You didn't say it was a sports game.
no, it's not a sports game.
No, I
It's
said
not.
no
Oh, yeah, he
sports,
said it's
no
not a
racing,
sport
no.
game.
F-Zero's a racing game.
F-Zero is not a sports game.
Racing is a sport.
No, I threw in racing. I said no racing, just in case you were on the fence. So you can guess again if you want.
Okay, good.
Maybe you didn't hear that.
Oh, you said no racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no racing.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say before that. I was gonna say Soul Calibur 2.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a
Oh,
good one.
That
will
makes
say
sense because if you
that's-
told us
that's gonna be
fighting,
on there.
Oh,
That is
I
going to be
will
on there
say-
for sure.
Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. Because I think the
Twin
genre
Snakes
is
are-
tactical espionage.
I'm gonna say Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Melee.
fuck me. I'm trying to think.
I don't know what Melee hit. Maybe
If
it
it's a
hit-
if
hit
it's
a
a
90 time.
the genre, that's what's killing me. Oh man. I'm gonna say Luigi's Mansion. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Ouija.
Nah, I think
That's
that's
in
like
the
a
80s.
70 something. I think it's
Low
like a
80s.
70.
and me and Juice be hating on that game.
Yeah, so disrespectful, yo.
Is that everybody?
Wilson. Yeah,
Terrell's
I think that's it.
thinking.
Oh, Terrell, yeah.
I'm thinking just fuck. I don't want to say that because I don't think it's good enough to be that.
Which one? Which one?
I'm not gonna say it. I want to hold on to it. I don't think it's good enough.
I think I got these next ones. Like I think I'm putting them in pieces.
Hold
I think I
on.
got it.
He's. I mean, technically, I'm not even looking because they do kind of rank them by popularity, but it's not necessarily Metacritic.
Fuck.
Don't look online, boys. I haven't checked this once.
I'm
Don't,
not
don't
looking
look
online.
at
No, I'm just looking at the list of games. I'm not actually like looking up the actual scores. Fuck it. I'll stick where I'm at. Luigi's Mansion.
That's like a
Mansion.
78 thing.
All right, what's the
Luigi.
genre? What's the genre?
The genre is fighting.
All right, so me and Clacton got it,
Yeah.
but which one?
The answer is The Soul Still Burns.
Nice.
Soul Calibur.
I didn't want to just copy clocked it. Good. That was a good guess.
Wait,
I thought
which
you were
one?
all gonna
Which
Avalanche.
one?
I thought you
Which
said
one?
it, and you were like,
Soul
yeah,
Calibur.
yeah, yeah.
Wait,
Two.
Soul
Oh,
Calibur
no.
what?
There's only
I
one.
made it too easy.
Two?
No,
Soul
there's only
Calibur
Soul
2.
Calibur 2 on.
Damn, I thought
GameCube.
that hit. I thought that shit hit like a 96, yo. That didn't hit.
One
That's
apiece.
why, I thought for sure that was a 96.
96 is high, bro.
Yeah.
I know.
That's
That's what I
really
mean.
high. That
No, I know.
still.
I know. That's why I was so amazed by it.
All right, what's next?
Okay.
Talking about the bangers.
So this next one has to be a sports game.
All right.
This next one has to be a sports game then, right?
But there's a Soul Calibur game that's like fucking super high. I remember.
Yes, you are right.
The first Soul Calibur, Rob.
Oh, that's probably what it is. Because I remember seeing like a 96 for it. I was like,
On
damn,
the
yeah, Soul
Dreamcast.
Calibur is probably up there. The
On
original.
the Dreamcast, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, Terrell. Next one is a sports title. Number 6
where's
sports
Metroid Prime?
title. And it
Metroid
is
Prime
a
2?
94.
94
Fuck.
sports
I'm not gonna get this one. There's no
Sports
way.
title,
There's
94.
no way I got this one.
I might have to steal somebody's guess from earlier.
You gonna wait.
I'm
NBA?
tempted to go back to Tiger Woods 2003. Fuck it.
I'm gonna go burnout. I think I'm gonna go burnout too.
Maybe in the end, this is gonna fuck shit up. I don't know how T sees it.
Yeah,
I don't know-
too.
This is
I
a
don't know
sports
how
title.
he sees this in his head, but like I'm gonna go with F-Zero because to me racing is a fucking sport and F-Zero is a sports
Yes.
product.
And you said the 94?
God, I
I'm
might.
gonna say F-Zero Jax.
I got it. I'm
That's
just taking a
crazy.
gamble.
I'm going back. I'm going to NBA 2K3. Fuck it.
NBA 2K.
Changing my answer.
Game. I didn't play it.
I'm gonna say NFL 2K4.
There wasn't. It was only 2K3. It's the only-
Really?
Yeah.
Shit,
That's the only one
God
made it on
damn.
I'll give you
GameCube.
that one. There's no 2K.
It sold like 10,000 copies, so they didn't.
Really?
release- Yeah.
Holy crap! God damn. All right, so never mind. So I'll
That's
say
sad.
that's crazy, especially since it's so highly rated.
I don't know.
I'll say 2K4, NBA 2K4. Is there not an NBA 2K4?
No, 2K's only made one appearance. That 2003.
But I
Holy
could
shit! They one
Three,
time
the
they
only one
did.
that's on GameCube.
Oh, man. Is there
Yeah,
Mario
so
Golf?
guess the 2Ks.
Nah, there's no way it's a 94, yo.
I'm
That'd be
gonna
ridiculous.
change
Golf?
my answer.
I mean, you guys can guess the same answer.
I'm
I think,
gonna-
right?
Hey,
I'm
Yeah.
gonna.
Yeah, right.
I want to change my answer because I do think T might make a distinction between sports and racing, so I don't want to fucking throw F-Zero in there yet. I don't know if it's gonna bite me in the ass. I'm gonna change my answer to Cool Borders.
Cool
Ooh.
Borders.
Cool Borders
Oh.
wasn't on
Avalanche
1080
1080. Wasn't that Cool
snowboarding.
Borders?
1080 Avalanche.
Yeah, that's Cool Borders, right?
No, it's not. You slap yourself. Slap yourself. No, it's not.
Oh my god.
Oh, I just thought of
What kind
another
of Nintendo fan just said
highly
Cool Borders
rated
and 1080 the
sports
same
game,
thing?
SSX.
God
SSX.
You might be thinking of
SSX?
SSX3, which was on
Somebody guess
there.
SSX.
And SSX Tricky was on.
I'll say SSX3. Yo. I'll say.
No, I'm gonna say 1080 Cool Borders. 1080 Avalanche. What the fuck is my answer?
Cool Borders.
No.
Fucking throw it out of my head.
I'll say SSX3.
Tell us the sport before we tell us the answer.
No,
All right.
but now that you've mentioned it, I'm gonna go with SSX3.
SXX3. That is a great one. That is a great one. But
It's wrong.
are we all
Yeah, we're right.
Yeah.
that is
It's
a great
relevant?
one, but
Oh,
that's
it-
not the answer.
Damn.
The sport is American football.
Oh, don't be
Fuck.
mad at
Madden?
2003 now.
Madden 2004.
Madden 2004.
Fuck.
Holy shit, yo, that's crazy.
94.
Damn.
That's crazy,
I
man.
guess 2003 before as well.
2 football games
I
scoring
tried
over
to
a
emphasize
90.
the 4 to help
I
you
knew
out.
that
I
was
said
the
90.
best. I knew that was the
I said
best
it's got a
one.
94. I tried to emphasize that to help you out.
That's
a little
insane. That's so good.
bit. Nobody
what the
caught
hell?
it, so
No.
it's alright.
Fuck.
So we're into the top 5 now.
Yep,
Yeah.
top 5. So we got.
Oh,
to-
I should
to
get a
go
half
over it
point
again.
for guessing that after you said it was a football game, but no one else guessed.
So who got the points here? Just Juice and
we
wait,
all
and-
me and
and-
Clockett
and
both
me.
have one.
you're both tied, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so it's Eternal Darkness at 10, 92 Metacritic, NFL 2K3 at 9, 92, Beautiful Joe at 8 with a 93,
That fucking
Oh,
Soul
Joe,
Calibur
Joe.
2, 93 at number 7,
Nice.
and Madden 04
Crazy.
at 94 at number 6.
Madden 04, 90.
So boy, boy.
I know
All
number
right.
5. You don't even have to give a hint.
All right, I
See?
What's the Metacritic?
I don't
for number
know.
five?
If you
I
got
want to
this-
hint.
if you can guess this one, you was a bad motherfucker.
Wait. Number 5 is
But this one
what-
is kind of tricky.
What's the rating? 90 what? 95.
The rating is 95.
95 is
That's really high.
That is really hard.
And it's kind of not fair to me. Like I said, this is a tricky one. So that's your hint. It's a tricky one.
Wait,
It's kinda
hold
not
on,
fair.
hold on. It's coming to me. It was. Ah, it just disappeared, yo.
It
It
makes
was.
it sound like it's like
something.
a port or something.
It's something. Yeah, it's some.
I'll tell
wanna-
you the
I wanna say
genre.
some
I
Tony
don't want
Hawk
to tell you
shit,
the
yo.
genre for this because it is tricky.
No,
What's the genre?
Genre is adventure or action adventure.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
fuck.
glad you said that because then I'm not going to give the
Mostly
answer I was going to go.
Mostly adventure.
1994.
95. at
95,
number five.
95.
95. It.
That's a high fucking score.
I'm
Today's
thinking-
I've got
And
to
that's
own the
still
game.
4 under that mother or higher than that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Could this be
man.
the Sands of Time?
Can it be?
Could this
I
be
didn't
Sands of
go.
Time?
No, wait there. 95, yo. That's high, man.
The Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. This.
It has to be.
I don't
If
think
it's
count
tricky, that makes me feel like it's a port. Like it's not. Either it shares another console for where it came from.
The adventure
Because
thing
you
really
because
threw
you said
me
it was
off.
not fair.
Robert
you said like
might-
it's kind of not fair.
Robert might be onto
That
something
is
there.
my clue. That is
Like the
Robert, you might be
whole
onto
Ocarina
something.
of Time and like Majora's Mask. You know that with the Master Quest thing or whatever.
Or it's like a port.
The Ocarina of
it's,
Time Master Quest pre-order thing. Damn, I don't want. How does this work? Can we both guess the same? Can I steal Robert's answer or not?
I mean, it's not stealing.
I didn't
mean,
think of it,
That's
but-
it.
It's not stealing. He said it out loud. You didn't make a choice yet.
Right.
I just don't know. I just don't know if 95 though. You think they give it?
Actually, I'm gonna show you this one. So hold on. But you guys can keep thinking.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh man.
95. Would they really give that a 95?
And it's not fair.
Probably
It's a
N64
tricky-
game that's on. That was.
I almost want to say Twilight Princess because of the Wii.
I know.
connection.
I
Oh,
almost.
you know what? That's a good idea, yo.
That's what I
Yeah.
want.
But I don't know. I don't know
But
if Twilight Princess is that high. That's
But
my
the
problem.
adventure
It is,
thing.
dude. It is. It is. At least on Wii, it is.
That's what
but,
I'm saying. I don't know
The
about
GameCube. That
GameCube.
means GameCube has to be right there, right? You think it'd be right there?
She's like action adventure. but
What if it's like
more
one of the Resident
adventure.
Evil ports, like Resident Evil 2 or something? 3.
Yeah, but
Mm.
but
Oh
I
well,
think
Resident
four is
Evil 4. Resident Evil 4 is very high up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's gonna
but
be
That
number
would
one.
be-
before
that would be
before
cheating.
started on the GameCube. It wasn't like
I think
Well,
four.
chat, make some guesses. Make some
Yeah,
guesses,
chat, help us out. Good. Don't look it up though.
All right, I'll say Twilight Princess.
yeah. I think I'm gonna lean in that direction too. Fuck it. I
I'm gonna
can't-
say
95.
he's
I can't think of
grabbing
any
it.
other game that would make sense.
I kind of want to go with the Ocarina of Time Master Quest.
Wait, no,
Collector's-
no.
My original guess was also going to be Twilight Princess. The genre thing just completely threw me off, but I'm think I'm going to stick with it as
Mostly
well. Twilight
adventure.
Princess. Plus, he wants to show off like his giant balls and shit, so I think it's going to be something rare that he has. So I'm definitely going to go with that.
What about was
No,
Mario
I'm doing it for the top
64?
five.
Was
I'm
Mario
doing it- I'm
64
shooting
ever
for the
on
top five, so I don't
GameCube?
think it's
No,
any kind of indication.
Any kind of collection?
not
No, not that I
on
know.
Mario. No.
Not that I heard of.
What about the
If it-
Zelda collection that had like the original and some of the other ones?
Oh, you're talking about.
There was
I
a
know what you're
collection
talking
had
about.
the original NES. It had 2
Yeah.
and Majora's Mask and some. Wait, no. What else did it have?
Oh wait, it could be the fucking. Ooh, it could be a collection because fucking Sonic Mega Collection's on there, but I don't think they would put that game that
Ah,
high.
dude, that I promise you.
we gotta guess. We're running out of time.
I literally can't think of anything.
I'm gonna
else that
say
would
the
make
Zelda
sense.
collection. Zelda
I'm
20th.
literally gonna. I'm.
would have been
I'm gonna go
15th or
Twilight
20th
Princess.
anniversary.
I'm gonna go left field, and I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna go left field. I'm gonna say Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2.
T, where you at?
Ready?
I'm
Ready?
saying
Ready,
Zelda anniversary collection.
I'll say
I'm gonna
Twilight
do-
Princess.
I'm gonna say stick with Twilight Princess. Fuck it.
I'm doing Twilight
Alright,
Princess.
okay.
Even though
What
the
was the,
genre thing like really threw me off.
What happened?
We're all
It's-
guessed.
Yeah, we all got it. So I said Twilight Princess.
Yeah, me and Robert
Okay,
said
so-
Twilight Princess.
I said Zelda anniversary
Tell me
collection.
a drill.
We're ready.
Yeah.
It says
The
Spider-Man
answer
2.
is. Oh wait a minute.
I'd be fucking.
shit.
Oh, the promotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking
The
said
Legend of
it.
Zelda.
Fuck.
Which
Oh,
one's
Collector's
on that?
Edition.
What
I
games?
said that shit.
So this has-
Jesus, what's wrong with me?
It has 1, 2,
That's the one I was talking. I
Majora's
said
Mask.
anniversary, but that's the one I was talking about.
and Ocarina of Time.
That's the fucking. That's what I was
Robert gave me
thinking,
the
yo.
idea, but that's
God,
that's the one I
that's
was
the one I
guessing.
was
I
really
just thought it
thinking of,
was
yo.
more. I thought it was an anniversary, but it was those games.
For me, I'm accepting that one because I thought that's what it was called at first. So I think I will accept that.
Bro, that's
Fuck.
literally what I was thinking. That's
Oh,
literally
and
the
by
one I
the
was
way-
thinking of. And I was like,
Of course.
that's literally the damn one.
All right,
I was
we gotta
thinking of.
speed this
I was
up.
like, you know
We
what?
gotta
Nah,
speed-
nah.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
gotta go
think it
faster.
goes
All right, here we
for
go. Number 4.
Damn.
Number 4 is a 96.
Wind
And it is
Waker.
a
That's Wind Waker.
action
Yeah.
adventure game.
Wind
Yeah,
Waker.
Wind Waker. Yeah.
I'll go with
Wind
Wind Waker,
Waker,
that
dude.
too.
Who's got what?
Wind
Wind
Waker.
Waker.
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker just 2.
3.
Who else? Who?
Robert,
Me,
Retro, and I.
Retro.
Okay, Terrell and Collected. What do you have?
I'll go 96, man. I mean, that's just crazy. That's
That is nuts.
borderline perfect.
Today,
I'm gonna
that's
go,
like-
I'll go with Metro Prime.
I'm gonna go with. Fuck it. I'm gonna go with Twilight Princess. Fuck it.
Twilight
Yeah,
Princess.
yeah. Twilight Princess is up there too, though. I keep forgetting.
So I'm gonna take the gamble.
All right, and your answer is
Wind
Yes.
Waker. Oh.
Okay. All right, that's fair. That's fair. That's
Wind
fair.
Waker, yo.
with a 96. All right.
Damn.
Damn.
And that was like not regarded as the like one of the better
Yeah,
Zelda
it-
games when it was first out.
When it was first shown, but when people actually got it, they realized
Mhm.
fucking greatness.
You got
All
a
right.
97 over here, bitch.
Of course it did.
Number 3 is also a 96, and it is a action adventure.
I'm gonna say Twilight Princess, yeah.
Don't do that, because now you. I don't want to. I've literally guessed that 3 times in a row. I don't want to fucking do it again. I don't want to do it again.
Yo.
I'm sticking with Prime again. Let's go.
No, fuck it.
Um,
Oh
These
no!
genre things fuck
Prime
me
is
up.
fair too. God damn it!
An action adventure for Prime, man. But I don't think Twilight Princess is gonna be any. I'm gonna go with Prime as well with Flockfit, even though I wouldn't consider it like action adventure. Prime 1.
I'm gonna say Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
I'm a.
Man, that bitch couldn't even get 50 points, man.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm a lean with the winner. I'm gonna go with Juice and say it's Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
I think 2 Echoes got like a 92 yo, or 91. That's why we haven't seen it.
Like a 58 more like it.
Because I think
it wasn't,
one
it
and
wasn't rated as high as Prime 1.
I know, but one's in top 2. So
Who is who's left?
Yeah, we're good.
I said Twilight Princess.
That's everybody, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Number 3 with a
He's so
Metacritic of
mad at this Prime
96 is I don't have it because I don't think I have that version anymore.
Yeah, that's
Or-
Twilight
or
Princess.
I never had that version. I don't
Twilight
think.
Princess.
It's Twilight Princess.
Yeah.
I had that.
Hey!
Look at
Bro.
look what I had written down. I had it as
Nice.
my number 3, but I didn't trust myself. God damn it!
Let's go, Twilight Princess, yo.
You failed. You
I
failed.
figured that give you guys a chance to catch up.
Ah!
What I got?
All right.
I got 2 points.
I knew
over.
I shouldn't have listened to Clocked It on the stupid shit,
I
man.
should have said fuck it.
I
God.
have it.
96 is so high.
It is high.
Man.
All right, number 2.
Metroid Prime.
Ready? Number 2 is a action game.
Metroid Prime.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Prime 1 on this.
So what's the
That's an
Metacritic, yo?
adventure game, though. So, fucking action.
I'm gonna go with Resident Evil 4. Even though I think it's number 1, I'm gonna go with Resi 4.
I'm going Resident Evil 4 as well, because it's action game. That's why.
Well, it's actually, you know what? It's literally all it is left is Metroid Prime 1 and Resident Evil 4. And it
The
just,
Metro Prime 1.
it just depends
Metro
on
Prime 1.
it just depends on
Prime
which
1
one.
has to be on first place, man.
Prime
I
is
can't
kind
do
of
it.
an
I'm gonna
action
say-
game, but they call it a first-person adventure.
I'm gonna just say
Clocked
Metro.
It
I'm gonna
keeps
say
fucking
Metro
me up
Prime
with this
1.
I'm
stupid
going
action shit, man.
RE4.
Shut the fuck up, man.
What are you blaming me for? You're the one that's giving the clues.
Shut the
I'm
fuck
not
up,
giving
man.
you wrong genres, so don't try to blame me.
Yeah, no, I'm going Clocked It, man. I'm going for Resident Evil 4 as well. Shut the fuck up, Clocked It.
Is
I'm
it
going
a-
Metro Prime 1.
Wait,
I'm
but
going
is it,
Metro Prime 1.
what is it?
You got
97?
it. That's everybody.
Wait,
Resi-
but
and Prime 1 for Terrell. Everybody else is Resi?
Mm-hmm.
Well, wait,
Yeah,
hold on. What is it? 97?
Oh, the Metacritic is 96.
Okay, it's Resident Evil 4.
And it's number 2 because it's 96 point something.
It's
It's a
Resident
little
Evil
bit
4
higher
and
than...
then 97 Metroid Prime 1. Yeah, that's what it is.
96.6.
Oh man, 96 feels low for Resi 4, man. I mean, it's fucking.
Shut the fuck up. Stop talking.
What is it,
I'm about
T?
to shut this shit
Yeah,
down.
come on, let's go. Number 2, let's go.
Just,
Let's do it.
just do it. Just do it. Just
Resident
do
Evil
it.
So
4
that's clocked it. Resi 4. Who else
Yeah.
is Resi 4?
Resi 4.
Juice. And
Everyone but Terrell, who's Metro Prime.
Everybody
I'm
but
gonna
Terrell.
say- Yeah.
And you are Metroid.
Yeah.
And the answer is Resi 4.
Yeah. Well,
So we know what number 1 is, right?
Yeah.
Do I even need... I mean,
Well,
number
Terrell
one
can't
is
say it.
number
He just
one,
guessed
son.
Metroid Prime this time, so he thought he doesn't.
listen. All right, I'll take my L's like I do.
If I may. So Sunshine didn't make it. Sorry.
What is Sunshine?
I think
it
I
was
want to
90.
say what
It's
was
gotta
it?
be in the 90s. It's gotta be
Yeah,
in the
91,
Sunshine is
92.
a 92. There is a lot of 92s.
Echoes.
know
I
what
want
else
to know
is-
what's Echoes.
But you know what else is a
Echoes
92?
is 90.
Echoes.
This is for you, Retro.
Yeah.
Echoes is a 92, bitch.
Remember in the beginning, I kept saying Metroid Prime 2 is a 92. I'm like, where the fuck is it? But it just
Just want to point out the absolute beautiful duality of Sunshine and Echoes 2 being at the same level.
But here's the thing. Echoes is number 16 at
Oh,
92.
The Resident Evil Remake is a 91 or 92, I feel. Is that
RE Remake is a 91, I believe. I think I wrote that
crazy
down.
that I remember
Yeah, it
those-
is.
some
It
of those.
is.
Yeah. And
incredible game.
like I said, Sunshine is a 92. That's some bullshit. It's number...
What's Sonic
I think
Adventure
it's
2?
bullshit.
What's
It's
Sonic
number
Adventure
14.
2?
That's 80,
Oh man.
83, 84.
What was Prime 1 at? I don't think you said it.
97.
97.
Prime 1's 97.
97?
Yep. It's the only 97 on the GameCube.
Damn.
Prime 1.
That's a
I did
high one.
alright.
It's literally the greatest
If
fucking
I would
game
have
in the
trusted
game.
my list, I would have had
Well, now on
Twilight
Switch,
Princess.
Switch alone, there's two 97s, yo.
Man, I was expecting Tales of Symphonia, and earlier I wanted to say Skies of Arcadia when you went
No, Tales
Where
of
was that
Symphonia
one
is,
game that
They're in
retro?
the 80s. I mean, they're still up high.
Yeah,
Where's
they're
that
in the
one
80s.
Byton Kaitos or whatever?
Okay, I don't think it's very high. I think a lot of people would
No, I
bitch
think
about this shit.
it's pretty high up there, I believe.
Where's that crappy game?
I think
So
84,
we got 15 minutes, so let's talk about the Skyward Sword amiibo debacle. Just get everyone's take on it. To me, it's the problem with amiibos from day one. If you have them do too little, then why am I spending $15? If you have them do too much, well, you're locking this behind a paywall. It's a no-win situation ever since amiibos came out. But this, to me, yeah, it's not necessary, but it would be a nice quality of life feature just to have when you rebuy the game for $60. And I think still having amiibos actually do something is just stupid in general. And I think to me, it seems kind of ridiculous. It seems like too big of a feature to put behind the amiibo, even though the amiibo does look pretty good.
I have to follow right behind you when you're done. Let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
Oh, really? That's it?
Yeah. And plus, if you look at what Twilight Princess HD came with, the Wolf Link amiibo for $60, and that actually worked forward to the new game, it just feels a little, this whole $60
Hey, that's right. You carried that into Breath of the Wild. You build up your hearts and stuff in the dungeons. And
Right. So, I wanted to follow you because I kind of agree with you. But here's the thing. As far as amiibos go and what they can do and what they should be able to do, who gives a fuck in 2021 what an amiibo can do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if this was 2013, 2014, 15, okay. It's 2021. Nobody gives a shit about what an amiibo can do.
Yeah, it
in
doesn't
the
even have to
game
do
anymore.
anything. It just has to be
Right.
look awesome.
So, with that said, This is some bullshit. Amiibo shouldn't be holding anything at this point, yet alone quality of life features for a game that other games in this series, when they came out, they gave you the quality of life feature in the fucking game. It wasn't locked. Some of the bitches gave you Amiibo and quality of life together for less than what they're asking for Skyward Sword HD. And I'm talking about Twilight Princess HD. Came with an Amiibo, $50 fucking. So this is a travesty. And for somebody who like me who wanted Amiibo,
is it a $15 or $20 Amiibo? Have we?
It's
It's
25.
25.
What?
$25.
Are you
It's
fucking kidding me?
$25,
I thought it was like 15 bucks.
Oh no, it's
They
25.
boosted it up.
Oh my
And
god.
the thing is that I don't mind the price because that's all the fuck I'm buying anyway. I'm not buying this
Yeah.
fucking game.
Still,
I'm
though,
only
that's-
buying the Amiibo. So I can roll with $25. I mean, I can justify it a little bit. I mean, it is
Things-
two characters on one.
Hopefully it's
thing. So.
significantly like size. It
Yeah,
better
it's-
be
Yeah.
bigger than average.
So I chalk it up as, what the Guardian was, how it's bigger and more material and all that kind of stuff. So I'm cool with the Amiibo price. My thing is, Amiibo shouldn't be unlocking shit in 2021. Shouldn't be nothing, no kind of feature should be behind them that you can't use in every fucking game. Or at least similar games. Like similar games in the franchise or something. So it is a travesty.
So it's $85 plus tax in the U.S.
Right.
For
And then you look at the original
Hey,
Skyward Sword.
I
Which
like
came
that
with
one.
a soundtrack and a fucking Wii Motion Plus gold controller for $70. And I'm like, this is a joke to me. So
I like it when amiibos do certain things. Now, there's different categories. Like that, the
I
Wolf
like it
Link
in
is
2016.
a perfect example where on Breath of the Wild you can have the wolf there. It's completely fucking useless, but it's cool if you want it. You had on Mario Kart. Like, oh, you could get like a costume for your Mii. Nobody fucking cares about the Mii anyway. So like that's cool random bonus shit.
Yeah,
That's
but
stuff that does absolutely less, like the Smash Brothers stuff. It has a clone. That is just bullshit. That is not enough for me.
nothing.
But at this point, you're reaching another level. Like you guys said, I think this is one of the first times where, like, we all complain about all the ports and shit, but fine. Like, add these quality of life improvements, do this. And, like, everybody knows what I think of Skyward Sword. But, like, one of the main things since the game launched that people wanted was the ability to just go to the sky whenever you wanted. Some people now like to pretend, no, nobody wanted that. Bitch, fucking everybody wanted that shit,
Lies.
Like, it's
Just
annoying and
lies.
shit. And like, the fact now that you log that between it, like, I think $25 for the amiibo, I agree with T, it's a bigger thing, whatever. It's a cool statue, it looks amazing. I hate how good it fucking looks, by the way. I need that shit. But like, you're technically, it's like, this is the perfect example of that hidden cost kind of shit, This is a feature, a fucking feature that they know people wanted. That's why it's in there. They know people wanted this shit. And then you hide it in the amiibo. You can't say, you don't need to. But no, it's like, you can't start hiding, like, necessary features in that shit. Next time you're going to get, like, Resident Evil, Resident Evil 8 is going to come on the Switch, You're going to get, like, an amiibo, not the cool lady one, some kind of zombie and shit. And you need to buy it else you can't fucking reload your gun, Like, if we're going to level, you can't hide such features that cost nothing, literally nothing, because it's in the game. The game can do it. The game can do it. You just can't. Like, I'm sorry, that's absolute bullshit.
Well,
Insane.
also not only that, but like, why should you tap the amiibo to do this damn thing? Like, it just imagine you playing the game. Imagine you playing the game.
It should
Like,
be a
I need to go tap the amiibo. That's like, I don't know,
It
like
feels.
that specific thing just feels weird.
Doesn't it
to
feel
me.
out of touch? Like T said, they're still acting like it's 2014 and Amiibos are new hot thing.
Right.
Like,
It defeats the portable side of the Switch completely.
Yeah,
you're not,
like, you
you're
gotta
gonna be
carry
carrying
around the
that
damn
fucking amiibo around
You're
anyway.
gonna fucking carry an Amiibo around.
like
Yeah, you gotta
if
carry
you're
it around
going
with
to
you.
lock it behind it, it should be a one-time activate. Hey, I have the Amiibo now. I can do this thing. Like, to me, to
But
do it
that
every
would-
time.
You know what? That would feel even more icky.
Yeah,
it's
that
like,
might-
oh, I just did it one time. Fuck this thing. I don't need it anymore.
So I feel like this conversation is irrelevant for one reason. you can't. The fucking pre-orders are sold out for the amiibo anyway.
So now
even
you
if
can't even have the feature, even if you want it.
You can't even. You know
Oh, they'll
what?
make
You
enough.
know what?
Don't worry about that.
You know what? You know. All right.
There'll
so
be
here's my
plenty.
thing.
Trust me, there'll be a lot in stock.
I would say. Let me ask you this, and I'm just curious. If the feature was spread across all Legend of Zelda amiibo, would it make it any better?
It would make
Yeah,
it better.
because I already have like
It's
3 or 4 of
soft
them.
And they'd say something like, "Oh, it's also going to work in Breath of the Wild 2 or whatever." That would have been, like they did with Wolf Link.
Well,
Yeah.
they have
No,
they
right
already
away.
they already there's already a Skyward Sword Link amiibo,
Mm-hmm.
There's already a Skyward Sword Link amiibo, yes.
and that's not being used.
Fucking where.
I'm gonna say it wouldn't make it better because I stand by the fact that you're not hiding game mechanic improvements
I mean, that's
behind a
fair.
separate purchase.
That's
That's
Like,
fair.
just
But
and I just
I
want to
think-
quickly add to the one thing, like Skylanders Imaginators when it came out on the Switch. Because what you said, it's a portable system. Skylanders Imaginators is the only version of Imaginators of any Skylanders where you can like tap it on the Switch, and the Switch will remember that you tapped it, so you don't have to like go outside with a holster with like 20 fucking Skylanders on your belt and shit like that.
I think there's two things I feel that we're mostly annoyed about, and the one is how the bundle has been done, which it isn't a bundle. Everything is separate, charged full price, a lot higher than everything was before. So we've seen that value side of Nintendo bundles, especially during the Wii U era, where you had an amiibo bundled with every limited fucking edition. You can imagine even Animal Crossing, fucking amiibo festival had fucking amiibos in there.
Yeah.
So we're looking at that value side, and then the other side is that has always been the slippery slope of what amiibos could essentially become and what they could essentially lock away. And we've been on the edge. Sometimes
I thought
whether
Splatoon's
it's
was
with
borderline.
Splatoon, I was just about to say Splatoon. With the armor sets from the single player and stuff like that.
That's right, yeah.
And you could even say Wolf Link amiibo and stuff like that. You could mention these things. We've been on the edge, but for this one, I think it's a combination of you have this full priced remaster that hasn't had a wealth done to it. It's almost like your standard HD update. It's not in a bundle. You got these separate Joy-Cons that are being sold separately, full price. You got this gorgeous amiibo. We got no problem with the amiibo. The amiibo's gorgeous. And yeah, the price is up there, but if it's a decent selling, and to be fair, the amiibos themselves, figure-wise, have gotten so good quality-wise over the years. You are buying essentially what T is
They
saying.
moved the price up from $12.13 up to like $15, $16 anyway. They've already done that because the quality is so much better.
What we're buying is just quality Nintendo figurines, and they are quality. You look like the PlayStation alternatives. They were trash when they came out. They look cheap and terrible. If you look like the Disney Infinity characters, they're cheap and terrible. But amiibos are actually really good fucking quality. So that's not the problem. It's just those two things: the bundles and the value that we used to have, and also the borderline on what are you locking behind these amiibo figures. Now, admittedly, I do feel it could have been a quality of life thing. It's not a massive issue, but like I said, once you start striding this line, what happens next? Then what happens after this one, especially in the Switch era, when everyone's snapping up absolutely everything left, right, and center. It's a slippery slope. I'm not as dramatic and over the top about the whole thing as it is. Like, I gave my opinion on Twitter. I think it should have been quality of life. It's just one of those little features that, it should just be there if you're going to include it anyway. Like you said, it's already programmed into the game.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't access it because you don't have this figurine with you.
Well, guys, just buy the card version from China. That's what somebody said. That was one of the defenses. Just order the cards that have all the amiibos in one card off from China. I'm like, that's your solutions? Yeah. Spend $20 from some shit from China.
I think what a lot of people can contend with us about is that we live on a lot of principle. When it comes to certain things, and we'll buckle on some things. We'll buckle here, there, and everywhere because sometimes if you do have to get something, you have to get something because you want it. But we always have these principles where we're just like, no, if a company does this, That's horseshit. Yeah, compared to stuff that they've done before, there's always going to be ups and downs, but for the most part, you got this track record of doing it like this. And then when you start seeing stuff like this, it's you start thinking, man, I don't like this. And then people say you got double standards and stuff. But then if we go back through some of our histories, a lot of the double standards, I'd say the double standards, we got a lot of reasons as to why, and we still complained. Complained about Mario Kart, even though we got it. We complained about it and pointed out the things that we didn't fucking like, and even though we do buckle, I have not. I mean, I personally, it doesn't. I'm not. It's not about defending it. You can buy whatever the fuck you want, but I have not bought another Switch port. It's just not for me. So I'm sticking to my guns that way for me. I'm not getting Skyward Sword HD, which is completely different to when I got Wind Waker HD, to when I got Twilight Princess.
I regretted
HD.
Twilight Princess HD personally.
Yeah, but still, even if you look at that content, those games and those bundles, they are drastically and fundamentally completely different to what Skyward Sword HD is. Completely different in every way, shape, and form. Yeah. So there's justification for those types of purchases. So when people pick up,
Twilight Princess HD is $10 cheaper, and it came with an amiibo. Badass amiibo, by the way. Go ahead.
Yeah, but even as the game itself, everything that was done to it is just vastly more than your standard HD port. We've had some control changes.
Fuck you, Kawa. That's your difference.
It's like how many times you buy. It's like I bought a Xenoblade remake, but you own Xenoblade on the Wii. Yeah, but this is the fucking remake. Yeah. It's you have that value proposition to go there, and guess what? It's got all the quality of life stuff that you wanted to see in these types
plus
of fucking
some extra
games.
content.
They didn't lock it behind a cloud amiibo
a significant visual jump.
There's always going to be those one or two games that you do buckle. You're going to be really passionate about something and you want to get it no fucking matter what. You're going to buckle sometimes, but you're
put some work in, especially those character.
Yeah, but people almost expect you to have this 100% perfect record. It doesn't happen for a single fucking human being, no matter what people say. That's humanity.
Yeah, I mean,
buckle sometimes. But your overall track record and your beliefs and what you feel that you do, that's what we talk about, consistency, right? And you can be consistent even if you're flip-flopping. That's being consistent. You're consistently a flip-flopper. But just stay consistent.
It's different if you admit it too. If you're like, hey, I know I said this, but like I was at Best Buy and Control Ultimate Edition was sitting there and it said $19.99 under it. I was like, no shit. And I went to grab it. Well, it was in the wrong fucking spot. That was the $19.99 was some other PS4 game. I forget which one. And Control was behind it for $39.99. I'm like, fuck you. Walmart has it, the PS5 version for $29.99 all the time. And that was the PS4 version. But one of the things, like I would have caved at $20, I would have caved and bought that. But when it comes to the Twilight or the Skyward Sword thing, it's like, yeah, I mean, maybe who knows when they started development. They made it 60 frames per second, so that supposedly the controls feel smoother and all that, and they had to work with the controls and stuff. But looking at the game, it's like it just doesn't look like that much. I mean, maybe I've seen some comparison videos, but maybe once you see it in person, it'll be a bigger difference. But it just feels like somebody said Neo. I guess he's calling them Neo Nintendo Visor Grunt. Letting games go out of print, so then now you can't buy Xenoblade Chronicles 2 the golden, what was that called?
Oh no, the Golden Country.
You can't buy you can't buy that. You got to go pay.
You can't even buy the
absurd amount of price.
Yeah, the base game you can't
because
buy.
They can't fucking keep how much money they're making. They can't even keep the games that they already made. The new games they can't even keep stock and print enough for everybody to have. So now you got to go on eBay and pay ridiculous prices if you want something.
When your exclusive first party games go out of print in a single generation, that just
tells you they're just pinching every frickin' penny for absolutely no reason at this point. There's no reason
It's
you shouldn't
odd.
get that amiibo with Skyward Sword HD for $60. There's no reason Nintendo
It's like
couldn't do it.
even if they didn't include the Joy Cons with it, you know, you could look at the Joy Cons and say, fine, they are more expensive than what a single Wiimote was,
Mm-hmm.
right? You could look at it like that and say, fine, if you had this bundle with Skyward Sword and then the amiibo in there, just a nice little bundle, yeah, and it was $70, you go, okay, fine, not perfect, but hey, that's better than what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
You'd still complain. You'd still have your standards, but you still have another value proposition there to work with, and that's what that benefits. That benefits everyone. For people to complain, for it to be that you're complaining that everything is now separate and sold separately, that boggles my mind. That I don't get it.
And that's where
I
in
don't
the
know why.
beginning of the podcast I told you the guys they didn't have a defense, this dude, so his defense was just say everybody who's complaining about it are spending money on OnlyFans and shit like that. Like, because you don't have an actual defense.
There's no defense.
For a $60 remaster plus $25 amiibo, like, with a feature locked behind it. It's just, there's no defending that. I don't understand. I don't see where it benefits you to defend that. And I was going to, before that game took longer than I thought, I was going to just talk about people who can't accept a criticism about a game or a company or like anything they like, a movie they like, a song they like. If you can't accept a legitimate criticism, then I don't understand that. Like, to me, that's weird, because we start with movies, we might as well end with movies. One of my favorite directors, Zack Snyder, put out a new movie on Friday on Netflix, Army of the Dead. It didn't do much for me. I'd probably give it like a C+. It's my favorite director. Puts out a movie. It doesn't mean that I have to love it. Like, I don't understand this mindset of, I like Nintendo, so I have to defend everything. I like Xbox, I have to defend everything. I like Star Wars, so I have to defend everything they do. Like, I just don't understand that mindset, and I never will. So, yeah, that's, what else can you say? It's the internet.
We all used to be the ones who were like, oh, you like the Wii U, you're just defending it because it's Nintendo, this and that. Yeah, but now, like, we
Clearly
okay,
that
fine.
wasn't the case.
Yeah, and then now, like, you're doing shit like with the Switch and shit, and now you're not allowed to complain.
Yeah.
And it's not like we don't want them to do better. Like, it's not, somebody I think would be surprised. Like, I'm just super looking forward to E3. I really hope Nintendo just kills it at E3. Like, even Microsoft. I want Microsoft to absolutely kill it at E3, because I don't see the negative to that. Like, I don't see why you would wish for anything different. You might have more realistic expectations. Like, I was surprised, T, when you said you weren't very hopeful for Xbox E3, or that at least not as confident as you were, and that they really have to show up. And it's like, you can have realistic expectations, but all of us, I feel like, here want Nintendo to just kill it at E3. I don't think anybody here, even I probably complain the most about their games output and stuff. And I was like, you telling me, like, you think I don't want them to show off amazing games? That's just like, holy shit, and blow my mind. Like, I don't know.
Of course we do.
It's like Nintendo have always like dabbled with. I mean, Roy Hustler mentioned that to have the Loftwing come in and drop rides and stuff. I mentioned that on Twitter where it could have flown down and dropped bombs in the area to kill enemies and stuff. But I mean, Nintendo have always dabbled in this area. Even in the original Wind Waker, you plug in your Game Boy Advance using the Game Boy connector, and then you could once you found an item in the game, you can shoot bombs. Yeah, the Tingle Tuner, thank you. You can shoot bombs and stuff using the Game Boy Advance, and that was good fun. But that was free. All you needed was the Game Boy Advance, of course. But they've always dabbled in trying to do this connectivity stuff. But like I said, it's just something so. This doesn't feel like something that they thought was a real good idea for us. To include in this amiibo. It doesn't feel like that. Compared to like the Tingle Tuner or something like that, to have a little fun with your Game Boy Advance when you plug into your GameCube, and it doesn't feel like that.
Go out and buy a Game Boy Advance just for that feature, right? It was just like, if you have this system already, here's something extra for you, right? So
Yeah.
I would feel similar if it was like, oh, if you already have a Zelda amiibo of some kind, you can utilize this feature. This new Zelda amiibo does it too, but if you have any other Zelda amiibos, they will utilize this feature. That to me would feel a lot better than
I mean,
locking
that,
it to this one specific amiibo that's coming out for $25.
and
like
no one's
that's
probably buying those amiibos anymore.
right.
Number one, because
When's
Nintendo
that
just
come
stock
out?
them
End of
themselves.
June? When's Skyward Sword come out? Is it July
I
or
think it's
June?
July.
July, isn't it?
As that game
Yeah,
gets closer,
July.
I'm curious what the reception will be, because it was fairly well reviewed. I would guess the Metacritic's in the low 90s.
I mean,
It was
being
like a
retro, go back
93 or
and stuff.
But it didn't sell that well because
It was
the
a 93.
Wii was pretty much fading at that point, and a lot of people were like, I think Retro Death.
Motion
I don't
controls.
want to have to.
Skyward Sword's a
Swing.
pretty controversial game.
So
From what I
that
remember.
hasn't changed because using the right analog stick isn't gonna just make that disappear, because now you can't turn the camera, and now every time your muscle memory is gonna have you turn the camera.
Some would
you
argue,
switch
but
your
My
sword.
problem with Skyward Sword is
some people would still
tone.
argue it's an improvement.
The tone is all
Yeah.
over the place in Skyward Sword. You have this really cool, creepy pirate ship thing going on. You see these tentacles come out, and then this fucking cartoon reggae monster comes out, and you're like, "What is this shit?" Like I was expecting some cool, creepy monster, and it's the silliest looking
It is
creature you
ridiculous.
could have. But the dungeons in this game are mostly
the
fantastic,
pirate
right?
fortress
But then you got to
is
deal
the
with that
best.
stupid ass imprisoned 3
The
times.
prison is
Hitting him in his
ridiculous.
toes and shit. Like, what is this shit?
That's the best
Why am I
dungeon
hitting
in the
this creature
game,
in
man.
his
I love that
toes?
place.
Like, it's so wildly all over
You
the
remember-
place with the tone.
For those
I
of-
wasn't like that. I remember I said this before on the podcast. I was like, I don't think I've after other than Wind Waker, I don't think I've smiled so many times playing a Zelda game before. When Link accidentally like slides down like the sand slope and stuff, he's like, it's like going down and stuff like this. It's just
Well, that was the start of many Breath of the Wild features, you guys. The stamina,
Yeah, it
jump
was.
or climbing. You know,
and a very prominent magazine, Edge magazine gave Skyward Sword 10 out of 10. And
So did IGN.
Yeah, and I agreed with them. I thought Skyward Sword was absolutely fucking amazing. Now it's kind of, I think we're on the same level when it comes to like Sunshine and stuff. You got these things that just annoy you, and I can understand it. I can understand it, and each person's going to look at it a different way. But I would say my only gripe with Skyward Sword is the initial tutorial area, which is long. It is
It's
long.
long.
And I agree with Retro. The sky was too empty.
It's empty as shit.
But God, it was a joy to fly around it, and just use the bird to fly and
how
stuff.
are you gonna?
It felt
I wonder
great.
how they're handling the flying. If it's gonna be gyro.
I would
I'm sure
assume
there's
so.
gyro, but you
That's how it
probably
was in the
use-
original.
But
But
then
this,
like
you can use
and then
the
they probably add a button on to boost as well, because
I'm
you have
sure
to
they do.
you collect
Yeah,
down with the
I didn't
remote
like-
to boost it,
My biggest problem
which
was
was like Wii Sports.
with Skyward Sword was on the second playthrough. First playthrough, I was just so I can't wait to catch up to Zelda to find out what's happening. Of course, I was always let down. It was still compelling, that you always just missed her by whatever, a little bit.
Yeah.
But on the second playthrough, that's the first Zelda game on the second playthrough. I was like, I'm not playing this. I'm not doing this backtracking again on Elden Mountain or whatever. Like, I'm not doing this stuff again. Like, I don't know how far I got, but I know I did the
I'm
imprison
currently in my
best.
second playthrough.
I
That
probably
tells
did the
you.
imprison fight the first one, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not doing this again. Like that was before really anybody was saying anything like that. It was pretty highly reviewed and stuff, and I was just like, it really fell apart on that second playthrough for me, and that's where my opinions are based off. I did enjoy the first run though, I will say. The pre-dungeon stuff was good.
Trying more and more to like focus on like positive shit, like the whole thing with my channel as well. And like Skyward Sword, I've always said like the dungeons were like Skyview Temple, you had like the ancient sister and like the greatest dungeons ever. But even outside that, there was more like not taking into account like the reggae like shit. But like you had Colossus, the statue with the 6 arms and shit. Like you could fly in the storm and stuff. It had so much potential, but like it ruined way more than
You
it
reached the
added for me.
potential, and like you talk about like outside of stuff, even going through the linear sea, where you have the time mechanic,
That was
and
cool.
that the bubble would come out and it'd be a desert, but then we turn into a fucking ocean. My mind was like, there are so many unique ideas in this game. I remember I said this before. I remember saying at the time, just idea and concept wise, there's nothing else on the market right now that comes close to this fucking game.
Skipper's
There's so
retreat was
much.
That was the
fucking hard,
highlight,
man,
but
when he was
I found it pretty
So good.
tedious doing the whole whatever the little orb that was like the time bubble when you're not on the boat. I got a little burnt out on that, but it was like I said,
Teardrop chase, whatever. The
on the
fuck
boat.
it-
That was that was the coolest thing, and
She's like, fucking cheers, man.
I'll say Nintendo has done this twice now with console launches. I thought Perfect Dark should have been held for GameCube, and I definitely think Skyward Sword should have been held for the Wii U. And I would have loved to see, because not just up the resolution, but actually switch over the development. Because I still feel like that what you just described, the boat with the time where you're on the ocean and then outside the bubble was a desert, could have just been mind-blowing if they could have had like Wind Waker HD level of visuals going.
But it was mind blowing. Sky was
it was
so
mind blowing,
fucking
but at the
beautiful.
same
Come
time,
on.
it didn't look that. I mean, I was like, I always thought like, man, I wish
I
wish
can't
this
roll
had
with
the
that.
watercolor look they were going for, actually on my screen right now. And
It
they
did. It looked beautiful.
No, it didn't.
Fuck. It did.
It did not.
Did.
I have to agree with Juice. I was that was the first Zelda game I think I was just kind of underwhelmed with right away. It's like, wow, I feel like I should be liking this a lot more. It's just not resonating with me. Now I love the characters. Like, she's still my favorite Zelda is in that game. Design and everything. And I love Groose. I mean, who didn't love Groose? Love what's his name? Tongue Man. What's like those?
Ghirahim?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have Ghirahim, who's a cool ass villain, frightening villain, and then you fucking have this imprisoned dog with big toes. Like I said, the tone in that game is so up and down for me, and it's just like they didn't want it to be too dark, but sometimes it got really silly.
I was hoping that was gonna be like a Shadow of the Colossus like battle too. So I went into that game with expectations of, outside of like Nintendo and Zelda. I was kind of expecting that to be like the Breath of Wild, where it was gonna be, breaking conventions and stuff, and then it's like, oh, I just got to hit this thing's toes. Like
Love the story.
I just played a game where I'm climbing a beast that size with hair flowing on PS2, and and then stabbing it. I wasn't expecting that, but at least I thought I'd be able to climb that thing. But so anyway, we gotta get out of here. We're going well past.
Late, super late.
But thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Do it all again.
Skyward Sword, Skyward Sword, Skyward Sword.